Okay, hey guys. The reason I'm doing a live, I wasn't sure. I don't know how many people are going to get this notification considering enough lives I did yesterday. And it's like on a 24-hour clock that you can just do 3. So anyways, the motion for defendant's additional Frank's notice came in and I requested it right away, and Faith was kind enough to send it within a few minutes. So we're just going to go over that, and then we're going to talk about Charlotte Sena again after we talk about the Delphi defendant's additional Frank's notice. Okay. So anyways, of course, hey everyone that's coming into the live. Hey, Miss Dog Lover. She's just glad that she's getting in another live before bedtime. And if Adam happens to pop on while I'm on here, then he will. And let's see here, just quickly. So Fibro's in the house again. Fibro, thank you very much for CJK getting that. Of course, I'm just 1 second. Boxed in person. Okay. Sorry, I was just seeing what Ickmel was going live with. It just popped up as a notice for CJK for that gifting the membership. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Fibro. You've done that a few times. Mustang, hello, yellow. Is in the house. Anyways, so we'll get started on this, and as people want to pop in, they'll pop in or whatever. So I'm just going to make this screen bigger, you guys, and yeah, we're just going to go through this. It's not very, I think it's about 4 pages or so, but let's get into it. So we'll make it bigger, and let me just go over to the document here. So, okay. So, oh, my husband just got home. I can hear him walking in the door. Defendant's additional Frank's notice. Comes now the accused Richard Allen by and through counsel Andrew Baldwin and Rozzi, and files from the following additional information to supplement the Frank's motion and memorandum previously filed with this court on October 18th of 2023. In support of said notice, the defense states the following: that on September 8th of 2023, the defense filed its motion for Frank's hearing as well as a memorandum in support of said motion. 2, that since filing that motion, the defense has received new discovery that strongly supports the defense belief that Tony Liggett and Unified Command attempted to conceal from Judge Diener, or Diner, however you say it, and has since even attempted to hide from the defense, that evidence supports that those practicing Odinism were the murderers of Abby and Libby. Specifically, Tony Liggett swore under oath at his August 8th, 2023 deposition that a Purdue professor did not believe that the sticks found on Abby's and Libby's bodies consisted of runes. So furthermore, Sergeant Jerry Holman swore under oath at his August 10th, 2023 deposition that a Purdue professor said the sticks found on the girls did not represent Odinism or any type of cult worshiping or any type of group that would have conducted that crime. So Because of the findings of this Purdue professor, the Unified Command claimed to have essentially abandoned the Odinism aspect of the investigation into the murders of Abby and Livy. Obviously, they're trying to, of course, basically say that Odinism had everything to do with this case, meaning the defense, and obviously that Jerry Holman and basically Ali had abandoned this whole line of thinking. So in response to the defense request to dispose this Purdue professor on September 6, 2023, the prosecutor, Nick McClelland, told the defense via email, as stated before, we are trying to identify the Purdue professor, but no luck yet. Obviously, they have that information now. Detective Holman had reached out to the FBI and Purdue and had not given a response yet. We will continue our endeavors, but may not be able to identify him or her. However, on September 19th of 2023, the day after the Franks memorandum was filed, where it was revealed that the Purdue professor was missing miraculously, Jerry Holman found the professor, whose name is Jeffrey Turco, and interviewed him. However, in the interview, Jerry Holman apologized to Turco for the 3 to 4 weeks that it took him to sit down and talk with Turco. This means that Holman was aware of the Purdue professor's identity since mid to late August, but nonetheless told Nick McClelland and Unified Command that they could not locate the Purdue professor, and furthermore, that they may not be able to identify the Purdue professor. Okay. So, if that's true, then obviously that would be a lie. However, after it was obvious that the Purdue professor would probably out himself as the missing Purdue professor following the Franks memorandum, Holman went and interviewed the Purdue professor the day after the Franks memorandum was filed. Why would Holman and the Unified Command try to hide the name of the Purdue professor, even risking ridicule for the absurdity that they could not remember his name? The answer is obvious. The tape statement was played. Sorry, just a notification came up. So come on, notification, stop. Dr. Turco stated that after viewing the pattern of sticks on the girls, that it was a given that someone was trying to replicate a Germanic runic script. Furthermore, Dr. Turco consulted with a colleague from Harvard who had even more knowledge on runes, and this Harvard professor was in agreement with Turco. So, furthermore, Dr. Turco stated that Odinism is an extreme neo-pagan, heathenism ideology that has a right-wing racist connotations. Furthermore, Dr. Turco stated that according to the 19th century sources that Viking practice ritual killings and sacrifices. Furthermore, Dr. Turco stated that although he could not necessarily interpret these runes, that the stick configurations were pretty clearly runic, and that he could certainly imagine that this was somebody's idea, that when you do a human sacrifice, you carve runes. There are some poetic sources that would sort of support that idea that somebody might have come across. That scenario seems entirely plausible to me. Turco tape statement. Furthermore, Dr. Turco discussed how runes were thought to have magical significance and would be used in incantations, in ritual, and that there is a sacrificial connection in mythological poetry. These were things, again, where somebody who was sort of an Odin fanboy would likely come across. That on September 8th, September 18th, September 21st, and the 27th of 2023, the state of Indiana made available to the defense a total of 14 hard drives, 5 flash drives, 3 disks, and what appeared to be hundreds of pages of paperwork. Particularly contained in the state of Indiana, September 27th, 2023, evidence drop was a thumb drive that contained an interview of Jeffrey Turco, not marked as Purdue professor. It seems apparent by the timing of events that Tony Leggett and Unified Command knew that the Purdue professor's name and wanted to hide his name and his findings from the defense, as Turco's conclusions supported the defense and opposed the prosecution, and Leggett's and Holman's sworn statements, therefore, apparently in what seems like a complete harebrained scheme. Holman and Liggett decided to claim that they did not know the professor's name, hoping that this would put an end to the defense looking into the Purdue professor. However, once the memorandum made it clear that the Purdue professor would certainly be found at some point, it took Holman one day to locate Dr. Turco and interview him about his findings of 2017. Again, Franks requires a preliminary finding that law enforcement has acted intentionally or with reckless disregard for the truth when being accused of concealing evidence from the judge who signed the warrant. It would be difficult to find a more outrageous set of facts to support that Liggett and Unified Command intentionally concealed the Odinite information from Judge Diener or Diener, whichever. If Liggett and Unified Command were willing to try to get away with concealing a Purdue professor from defense counsel, then it is easy to see that they would have no problem concealing all evidence detailed in the Franks memorandum from Judge Diener, as well as wherefore defense counsel respectfully files his additional Franks notice and would request that this court factor in this new filing into its ruling on the defense request for a Franks hearing. And then, of course, it was respectfully signed. Okay, so that is the document that has come out today. Hey, guys. Hey, Lacey. How are you on there? So what's your guys' thoughts on what I just read? So what basically we have that they're just trying to say that Holman and Liggett basically both misrepresented, basically saying that they lied. And I want to go back to this one part right near the start for a second. Tony Liggett. No, that's not the one I want to go back to. However, in the individual apologized to Turco. So basically here they're saying, right, obviously that they played stupid, that they had no idea who Turco was, that Jerry Holman apologized to Turco for it taking 3 to 4 weeks that it took them, right? Which again, they're saying meant that in August, contrary, so they acted like they didn't know who the professor was. They might never find out, but yet that Holman had already basically spoke to him, and then 3 to 4 weeks later, and then did it right after the Franks memorandum, which seems like playing a game, you know. Mind you, the defense is playing their game, and I'm sure the prosecution is playing their game. But how much truth to this, you know, is actually truthful, how it laid out, you know? I mean, it obviously, if it is truth, like what we're reading here about how it transpired, then obviously I can understand why the defense would, of course, try to, you know, do the Franks hearing, get the Franks hearing, just to prove that there was deception and another part. So the one part I was confused about, so Dr. Turco stated that after viewing the pattern of sticks on the girls, it was a given that someone was trying to replicate. Okay, so what happened to the fact that they said, meaning Ellie said, that the Purdue professor did not think it had anything to do with that? And then here it's saying that Dr. Turco stated after viewing the pattern of sticks that somehow they were trying to replicate a Germanic runic script. So again, Dr. Turco consulted with his colleague from Harvard who even more knowledge of the runes, and this Harvard professor was in agreement with Turco. Stated that Odin is an extreme. So, yeah, let me just come back to your guys' thoughts on this. Hey, why is it? See, the problem is nobody's getting notifications probably, or else maybe there's too many other people doing lives and stuff like that. Because you guys have not said nothing since I came back to this page. Oh, besides Miss Dog Lover saying hi, Mustang, and Fibro and out. Okay, So, I mean, bottom line is they're just trying to prove that there was lies and deception, and this is why they want the Franks hearing to move forward. Hi, sees through. Thank you on there. So I mean, I get it sometimes too, because like these documents, you know, unless they're really sometimes explained to people, they don't really understand them. But I think this one's kind of straightforward, really, and what's going on with this Frank's hearing is that they're literally just trying to show that hey, there's been lies and deception going on here, and these are the reasons for, you know, the additional Frank's notice from the defendant going on. So, other than that, you guys, when did these drop? It just dropped today. Yeah, I don't. Let me just check my email, and just by chance to see if anything else is dropped. Because sometimes they'll drop this, and then another one will drop. Let me just check my email quickly as I'm doing that. I don't think so, but I'll just double check. It was just the one there. But so what's funny is that when my alert comes in, it comes in to a different email. But when I request the information, I send it from my main email. So no, there's nothing else that's coming at this time. But sometimes that happens, right? Where something else comes back in on there. Okay. So I don't know. So unless you guys don't have anything to say, I'm gonna move on then to Charlotte. So I'll give you just a moment. I'll give you guys just a moment. See if there's anything you wish to say or anything like that. If not, we're gonna move on to Charlotte. Poor Charlotte. Okay, and I'm just gonna bring in a picture as well. Okay. So, no? Okay, we're going to move on then. There you guys. Share screen. Windows. Go over here for a minute. Okay. So, obviously, this is the guy, Craig N. Ross. So, contrary to what, say, Gizla from True Crime, Grizzly True Crime put out yesterday. Now, I noticed that she got this information from someone named David Hall. And so she put out a picture of somebody that was the wrong person, basing it on this other person's information. So when I woke up this morning, because I was waiting for mugshot, when I woke up, this he looks like Graz, kind of, in a bit, you know. Kind of reminds me. Adam said that. I was like, you know what, you're right. But anyways, so this raving beauty popped up. Hi, PJ, second chance. How are you? So again, this is a guy that's in custody, 46-year-old male. We're going to go over some things. I'm going to show you some things that I was working on last night. I was working on different things for a few hours in the morning. I was actually kind of following as well because I noticed that JLR was doing a live and then he did another live. And so I was just kind of looking at what he was putting out versus what I had put out. Now, I don't like to pat my own back here, but pretty sure I was one of the first people to have that address of the camper one, because once I actually put in the name and stuff like that, you know, and I was trying to find a picture of him on Facebook. Anyways, I went to search free. I could see that. So although they didn't show his address, they showed like a 13 Circle Drive address. So that would have been and is one of the addresses that they were referring to when they were talking about how they had to go to a couple different places, you know, basically to look for him. So knowing that he was the guy that put the ransom note in the mailbox or whatever, and, you know, again, by his fingerprints, guilty, that there was a few addresses he has. Now, we knew that they said Barrett Road and they said Midline, but we didn't know the exact address. So because of looking up that, then I could see. Hi, honey. Do you need me? Okay, love you. Okay. And then so I could see that his mom, her name ended up being Joan. Okay. And so I clicked on Joan, which took me to the actual address, which is 2133. And I didn't actually put out the address there yesterday. And actually, somebody actually had the nerve to blast me on Twitter, basically to tell me what a piece of crap I was, because no sooner was she found than you're still talking about her or something like that. And I thought to myself, so it's going to be okay when the news puts out the address everywhere, even though I didn't put out the address. I just showed a picture of the home. And if anyone took Google and strolled down the street, they would find it, without putting out. So I was trying to, be sensitive to the address. Now I'm not, because it's freaking came out all over the news, so of course I blocked that moron. And I'm just like, God, people just got nothing better to do, think that they're freaking all high and mighty and crap. Anyways, here JLR is freaking at the homes doing whatever, but then you always have those people that just think that they're better, somehow. Anyways, I just blocked him. So we're going to go through a little bit of that. Well, it's just the fact of, there's always those people that are more high and mightier, that just think that if you don't do it their way, and somehow me putting out the home of the person, this guy, that he's living in a camper and showing that the camper on the grounds is somehow distasteful, but yet the news could do it. And I'm sure he's sucking up all the news. Yeah, no, you're wrong actually on that, Fibro. Like you're talking. Okay, let me just show you Fibro. Okay, the search at his mother's home this morning. Okay, so let me see. I'll show you two things, Fibro, and then tell me if what you're talking about is correct. Okay, so let's go to Google Maps. We'll do that. Google Maps is our friend. Where are you, Google Maps? There you are. Okay, so let's go to Google Maps. Okay, so you see this home right here, and guess what, guys? Look at what? Hold on. What number do you think is on that house, right? 13. Why does that number never leave us alone? So, Fibro, is this the house that you're referring to when you said about serving search warrants? And if not, then correct. The other address on Barrett is where Charlotte was found. So this house right here, JLR was at last night. And it has tape around it, and it is a police officer, and they're in the home searching. Now, underneath, from what I can find, a Lawrence French and a Seth French and Jane French, they live at this property. That's who owns this property. So whether he was staying there, but this is not his actual home. This belongs to family members. So it's what it looks like. No, this is not Craig's house. No. If Craig had this house, he wouldn't be living in a trailer. Correct. This is not Craig's house, though. That's what I'm trying to explain. So he might have lived here, but this is not underneath of his name, and this is not his home. He might have stayed here with his relatives, but this is not his home, and that's why they said multiple. Where they found, like you said, let me just stop for a second. So we'll go back to the other one. I know it's still Google Maps. Wait, did I have? Oh, well, let's just go back to Google Maps. Okay, let's see. They're searching this house, right? Yes, they are searching. They are searching this house, Fibro. Correct. Because this is one of the houses. That's why they had to go to multiple houses, right? Remember when they made that comment? Does that make sense? Hi, have you missed me? Darren Great Rex. I feel like the name I remember. I don't remember the last part of the name. It looks like you changed it. So if That is, I think that's you. Let me just click on your thing. Yeah, I feel like that's your picture from what I like, something like that, meaning the face. But I feel like you changed your name. Am I correct? Like your last name, at least the last part of it. So does that make sense to you, Fibro? What I'm saying is that yes, they are searching this house right now, but as well, they're searching the other one too, because that's where Charlotte was found. So this is not his home underneath of his name. This is a place where he must have been staying, but is not his home. It's underneath Lawrence French and his wife, and probably the other one is a child, or a young man or something like that. So they have them both for both places. There's even more addresses than this that are similar. Does that, yeah. So it's kind of like both are correct. It's just that I don't want someone saying, well, this is his home. Technically, it's not his home, but this is one of the places that he was staying. Obviously, like meaning, someone that's back and forth. Hey, mommy, let me come back to my home, mommy. And then off leeching off somebody else. I mean, I think they said he was a mailman, right? Okay, so let's take, which one do I have open? So I have, I think it's because I had it up here. That's why. Maybe do I want to, hold on, let me just stop this for a second and present. And let's go, is it this one? Okay, so okay, I came over here because of, so this is the address that you speak of right here, right? On Google Maps. Is this one. Whoops. Now, hold on. I know what I'll do. I'm going to do a couple things here. Sorry, I got to find myself again here. Okay, wait. Close you off. Hold on. I'm going to close you off and bring myself back. We're going to go back over to a couple things. Let's see here. So that's that. Sorry, guys. I have a lot of tabs up right now. And, okay, I got to close off some of these tabs. Yeah, I got too many tabs open here. Okay. Sorry. It's because I have so many tabs open. Oh, whatever. Let's just go back over to Google Maps for a second, and we'll go to, let's see, history. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I know. Okay. And okay, didn't put in its blue line, really, did it? Okay. So we'll put in 2133 Garrett. Okay. I'm going to do that. I just want my mark. There we go. Okay. So when I brought you guys here yesterday on Google Maps, I'm in Tamworth. I live in Tamworth. Mr. However, Craig Ross bought that house on Circle Drive in 2019. I am looking at the deed right now. Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to argue with you on that, Bernadette. You absolutely could be right, and I could totally be wrong here, because when you're on those search engines, to look up something, it's showing that Lawrence French is family member, and he's the one that lives in that house. So it simply could be that thing, that what you're seeing more accurate than what I was seeing then. So either or, the French guy is a family member. It's underneath his friends. So maybe he bought it and then sold it to him. Who knows? All I know is that the Lawrence French guy is a family member. Their name is showing is on it. if at some point in 2019 that Craig Ross bought it, then same, whatever, right? Don't understand why he'd be at the camper though. Weirdo. Anyways, right, that's where my husband's from, Darren, right? Nuneaton. Right. Okay. So here, let me just take myself off screen. So this is where I took you guys yesterday. Was on basically here because that's what they gave us was Barrett Road. But after again searching, coming across him, his mom, and stuff like that, then I knew that obviously this was the address here. Of where the mom lived. Now, this isn't the best, view in the world. So to stop screen on that for a minute and then present, I need my search free. And we'll go to this one. Was this what I wanted? Oh, I think that's because after I was looking at that. Let me just go back to it for a second. No, why does he? Oh wait, did I type in something wrong there? Why is it bringing up that? Why is it bringing up that? Okay, hold on. Why is it bringing up that? That's not what it brought up. Craig Ross, Boston. Why is it bringing up that? We'll just say Milton, even though it's Boston, New York. Maybe, is it the junior? It's because I went off of it yesterday. I want to give you guys a better view. So hold on. Okay. Here we go. Close. So, can you guys see this actually? Yeah, okay. Let me just try to get the picture bigger. Okay, let me see if you guys can see that. No, I gotta stop this for a second so I can go to the picture that it just made. Oh, so many tabs open. Search. Nope, don't want that. Don't want that. Don't want that. Don't want that. No, come on now. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. So on search free, guys, and search free is one of those ones that you can use. And, you're going to get the basic of the information, family, friends, different addresses, blah, 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 that they were at. Hold on. Let me get out of I think we're at here. So let's pop this over. Okay. So obviously Barrett Road, 2133. And then this would be that camper that they were talking about. And then, yeah, that's his mom's home, their land. And, it's just down the road from when they said about midline or whatever. I'm sorry. Let me just see if you guys are saying anything. Have you been to? Yes, I've been to Nuneaton. Yeah, that's where my husband's from. I was there 4 years ago. I think it was 4 years ago. Is it 5 now or 4? Ooh, it might be 5. I don't know. 2019, I think it was. I want to say. Is that how much taxes they pay each year, or is or how much they are taxed on? Oh, I actually wasn't really looking at the numbers, to be honest with you. 20 miles away, Birmingham. Yeah, yeah. My his mother's other half is a Brummie from Burmy. But anyways, so this is the house, of course, like I said, that we're talking about. So obviously, this is where she was found. Um, Sick and twisted man. Apparently, he was just charged with kidnapping. So that leads us to believe that there was no SA. Thank God. That would have been a whole nother ball of wax for that child, if that was the case. So it just seems to be kidnapping, and a ransom note. So, okay, let me tell you this. I need to close off some of this crap because it's giving me a headache having this many tabs open. It's hurting my brain. Tab. 1 second, guys. Okay. Sorry, I just need to close off some of these tabs. You guys just see my computer sometimes. My husband that sometimes come in and they start laughing at me for like literally having like tabs where you can't even click the X because there's too many tabs. Well, that's the point I'm at kind of right now. And so yeah, I mean the other place that is like the Circle Drive one. That one's like 2 minutes away because JLR had said that when he was driving there from their home. Yeah, there might be more charges. I doubt it though, because honestly, if she was SA'd, that charge would have been right then and there because the girl would have said, like she literally would have said. So I don't see an SA charge coming. um, so let's see. Let's go to. I gotta let's. So we saw, there was the press conference yesterday. You guys remember? Instead of waiting till today, they ended up doing one yesterday. Yeah, my OCD doesn't let me have more than say 20 open. After that, it gets very challenging. But the thing is that when you're working on stuff, especially as a content creator, you need to leave certain things open so that you can go back to them in a sense. It just makes it easier to have the tabs open, kind of like for a live. And then and then something pops up and you're like, oh, there's something on Twitter that I need to remember to go look at. So, okay, let me keep that one up there. I can close that one now. So we haven't, besides that, okay, I can close this one. Oh, yeah. So as for 2133, it says that it's 980 square feet, mobile home built in 1985, 2 residents. That's pretty much it. And then it says see results, but I know if I hit see results, it's going to say if you pay a certain amount, then you can access all of that stuff. No, thank you. Barrett Road. Yep, 2223. Hey, look at there's more tabs than I thought. Yeah, because even right now they're showing that possible owners are not possible owners and residents is French. So on a couple of them, like meaning on a few of them, they're showing the last name of French for that address. But again, right? I mean, it's kind of like when I use Intellius, you guys. Remember how I tell you that Intellius is really great, right? I would deem it as like 80% accurate. They attach people's Facebooks where they don't belong, or they're not up to date on their information. Here, it seems like a few of them are not up to date on their information. At home, it's massive different. I have 2 screens in the office. Yeah, I bet, right? I do have another screen. No, I think it died. I do need 2 screens though. At some point, I do need 2 screens. Absolutely. Agree. I just don't really have the space. Hi, Annie. Do you need me?
No.
What you doing?
I'm crazy.
I don't want to come. Okay, just trying to see here. Well, you know what? Let's see. There's a little bit of a video. Let's just see. I'll play that perhaps. Do 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 do. I hear your phone. I hear it. Hmm. I'll mute it. Yeah, I think this one. Okay, let's just listen to this one for a sec, guys. It's like 5 minutes, I think.
All right, Carly, to another Fox News alert. Missing 9-year-old Charlotte Sena has been found alive after disappearing from Morro Lake State Park in New York on Saturday. Police tracking down the suspect accused of kidnapping her from a ransom note he left in the family's mailbox.
After some resistance, the suspect was taken into custody, and immediately the little girl was found in a cabinet, cupboard. She was rescued. The suspect, 47-year-old male named Craig Nelson Ross Jr., is still being questioned. At this moment, charges have not been brought, but they are fully expected.
Patrick Kane is a friend of the Sena family, joins me now live from where the scene all unfolded. Patrick, thank you so much for being here. We know this has been a whirlwind last 12 hours for you and for the family. The most important question, how is Charlotte doing?
Very well, very well. Of course, the family's thrilled to have her back, but by all accounts, she's doing just fine.
And then, of course, from Charlotte, we do go to the family. As a parent, I can't imagine the sense of relief. How's mom doing? How's dad doing? The extended family?
Just elated. I mean, I obviously think you have hopeless, or you try to stay as optimistic as possible, but you have to think of the bad side of this, and it never occurred, of course. So now we're just thrilled.
Have you had an opportunity to speak with the parents?
Just texting back and forth, yeah. So everybody's happy. Of course, they left here. They all went to Albany for examination at Albany Med. And by all accounts, everything's good.
Any sense as to when she's going to be released?
I would say any day now.
Any day?
It's just going to be there. So,
I mean, look, we have to be realistic, and you just said it. We all know situations like this, when you hear about them in the news, they don't always end well. In fact, if you're going with the gut instinct, they usually end poorly, and it is horrific. What does that say about the response of law enforcement in this community that we are celebrating today and not mourning?
Well, I think, speaking for everybody, law enforcement was the reason we found her and got her back. There was an overwhelming amount of effort put on by the state police, all the local EMTs and first responders. It was pretty special to see hundreds and hundreds of people walking those woods. Obviously, they were working behind the scenes, but it's special that we saw this happen.
Do need to get into the individual involved. There were reports that the suspect, 47-year-old Craig Nelson Ross, reportedly targeted Charlotte. Can you speak to that?
I can't at this point. They're still working on some of those details, but it's obvious that this person had some premeditated aspirations.
Is there any sense that he knew the family? Reportedly lived only about 2 miles away from the Sena family home.
Yeah, I think he may have been aware of them. I don't know at this point what we can share with you on that, because I'm sure they're still trying to build it all together. And it happened so quick yesterday, and everybody went from, I hope this happens, to like they're elated that it happened. So I don't have the inside scoop on that.
As someone who lives in this community, sure, have you had any interaction with this suspect?
No.
Have you ever heard of him?
Never did.
No awareness that this individual was reportedly, according to the Albany Times-Union, had a history of sexual abuse in the criminal context?
No, I read the same articles, and I'm friends with the guys at the TU, but no, I don't know. I personally do not have that information.
We were talking off camera, and there was a general sense that you have 2 daughters, I have 2 daughters. The initial instinct was to hug your family, and that's exactly what you told the media last night when they all asked how things were going and asked, it was the end of the day once they had discovered that Charlotte was alive, and you all told the media, go hug your family. Tell me a little bit more about that moment.
We tend to keep the fast pace of life in general, but it really boils down to, especially with little girls, they look up at daddy and say, hey, take good care of me. And knowing Dave the way I know, that's got to be the hardest thing, because this happened, we'll say, under their watch as parents. And it was brutal. It was brutal. But as a parent, how can you even not think the most cherished moment is just to hug your children?
You know this family, you know this little girl, Charlotte. The one thing that's been reported is that she has this huge love of others. Knowing her and knowing how she is always welcoming to other kids, Do you have any concern that this experience is going to potentially ruin that love, ruin that joy of life? Or is Charlotte just one of those individuals who, is just going to say, I love society, I love my fellow humans, I'm just going to continue to love, love, love?
If you met her parents, you'd say she's going to be just fine. Her
Awesome.
parents are the reason she is like the way she is. Her father, who I know quite well, is just eternally optimistic. He's a fun guy. He loves people, and it's just a marvelous family. So she was abruptly removed from that family, but returned safe and sound. There's going to be some healing, of course, but it's a wonderful story for a wonderful family.
Thank you so much for getting up early with us. We do appreciate it. And Carly, I mean, we've been talking about this for a while. A beautiful ending to what could have been much worse. We just thank the good Lord above that we are here celebrating today and not mourning.
Absolutely. First of all, hey, Chaotic. It's been a minute on there. I bet you're almost all ready for Halloween, I would think, by now. Because Chaotic is like, did you enter a contest? Like, or when is that contest? Oh, it's okay. Sharon, did you even get a notification? It's because I did 3 lives yesterday and YouTube only allows like 3 notifications in 24 hours. So I think that some people wouldn't have got the notification unless they just seen me live. Was his brother involved? Hi, Awesome Frank. Oh, as in that Charlie Ross or Charles Ross or whatever. To be honest, it wouldn't shock me. I don't know, but it wouldn't shock me. I don't know. I mean, I feel like their family is very dysfunctional. Like this had to start from somewhere, right? Oh, I heard something about that, Sharon. Is smoke. It is bad here. What is on fire? I saw something like that again. Do we got something on fire up here again? That's coming down to you guys? Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Because we get your guys' stuff too when it comes this way. I'm getting close to being ready finally. I'm only doing the nail contest this year. It will start Friday. Oh, okay. Sweet. I can't help but think of you all the time now. Chaotic when it comes to Halloween, mind you, I know if me and you were neighbors, I'd be like it'd be like a contest, who can have the greatest house, but knowing what I've seen of your place, you got a lot more money than I got. I remember I just want to say this, I'm getting onto Halloween for a sec. I remember that you would save your milk jugs, and out of, I think it was it 4 or 5 milk jugs, the 2-liter ones or 4-liter ones, you would make skeletons, you'd turn one upside down, cut out the eyes and everything like that. And then the rest of it would be about the rib cages and then the arms and stuff like that. And so I would sit there and create like 5 of these skeletons, little baby ones and big ones and stuff like that. Yeah, she does. I mean, her bedroom is probably the size of our apartment, Anyways, yeah. So when it comes to Charlotte, like I said, I'm sure more info. I wish we knew what the ransom note said. So just to ask you guys that are in the live with that, what are your guys' thoughts? So, they're saying that he lived in the home that was 2 minutes away. But he took the child to the camper on his mother's land, which he probably lived in at some point. You guarantee that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would make graves and everything, Chaotic, just from cardboard boxes and wood and create my own tombstones and different things. If you're into the crafts, right? People that are into crafts, they like that stuff. I like homemade stuff. I even liked homemade stuff when people would put them on their trees and make Christmas things for the ornaments and stuff like that. That's kind of like that what I consider like old school, like really starting from scratch in a sense. But yeah, I know. However, as much as I do like Halloween, my mind, the minute it hits September, instantly goes to Christmas time. I start thinking about Christmas usually in July. And I somehow seem to forget about, I know that Halloween's coming, but my mind is always focused on Christmas. And I think that's just because Halloween is like one day and it's gone, even though I know Christmas is too. But you know what? I used to set my Halloween stuff up about a month before I would start preparing the garage, because the garage was like 4 posts and the thing, so it was all open. And I would start preparing that, and then you go to the store and you buy the cobweb. You got to have tons of cobweb, of course, and stuff like that, you know. Anyways, so I really enjoy it. But Christmas is still my favorite. But, yours is like the Nightmare Before Christmas type of thing. And which I love that movie too. But yeah, they took her somewhere he knew he could have. Right. That's what I feel like too, Mustang. So he obviously took her some. So it's crazy because his charges, and considering like his brothers and whatever, like you thought that for sure it was going to be something to do with SA. And then they throw the loop of the ransom note again, like a true idiot mailman. Like, did he not think that anyone would be watching? Hey, quit meowing down there. Did he not think at all that nobody would be watching the house as he slid in a ransom note? What an idiot. Anyways, good thing he's an idiot. But so the ransom note. So was this a money grab at the end of the day? It just seems kind of twisted. So I wish we knew what the note said. I wish that they would have showed us what the note said. Considering they show us a lot of other things. So I'm curious, like what that ransom note said, because it almost seems like it became a money grab, Meth does make scholars. Yeah, you can just ask Chris Mathis that, right? According to him, right, it basically became a rocket science on that stuff. We just leave up natural cobwebs. You know what, Fibro? So I've had a spider sitting in the corner of my window over here because my computer behind it is this big window. And so I've let this spider stay in the home because it's just sitting in the corner of this window. And although I tried to feed it one day because I was like, dude, you must be hungry. You ain't catching crap. So I tried to throw it a little bit of food and then the food just hit the window and that's where it stayed. But you back off down there. You just shush your mush down there. And so I the other day I'm like, husband, my spider's gone. Because it's been sitting there for weeks now, okay? And the cats have destroyed the web a few times because the cats like to look out the window when they come in the bedroom. So anyway, so for 2 days, I was like, yeah, I guess he's moved on. And then about an hour and a half ago, I'm like looking at that window and I'm like, and I was on the phone with my husband and I'm like, spider's back. My spider's back. Almost like it's my little friend now, my little Charlotte's Web. Hi, TTM fangirl. Yeah, they kill bugs. Yeah, well, this one must be starving because I don't see it killing anything. And trust me, he's at that point. So what it is, let me just give you a visual here. So at this big window, the big one slides open, and that's where the air conditioner is. But because those air conditioners don't necessarily sit in that window, so the air conditioner is kind of popped open a little bit. So these bugs, like there was this freaking ant that I swear was taunting this poor spider because this fly comes in the window, bzz, flying around. And then it's just walking right in front of him on the window pane, back and forth, doing circles, not even getting caught in the web. And this fly just for hours, I'm just like, you're just teasing him. You're thinking that the fly is going to get stuck into the web. No, swear to God, just teasing him. And if I keep looking away, it's because I keep looking at the spider. So I'm watching these different bugs kind of fly in through the window that's open there. And yet couldn't land a thing if his life depended on it. even though he's right in a perfect position. So I'm thinking, he got bored. He's not catching any food. He's moved on. And then I take another look and ooh, oh, the husband bought me a bat house. So soon I will have no bugs near my house. Well, I was just going to say, like a real bat house. What? Okay, hold on. Talk amongst yourself. I got to go let my cat out, or else she's just going to keep meowing. Bye, Bambi. I got to get rid of her. Okay, just wow. Because I get up to go let Bambi out. And then, of course, she parks her butt near the end of the bed. And I'm like, come on now, get out, get out, get out. So as I'm waiting for her to get out, Chrissy comes, Montana. I'm thinking of my old cat. Montana comes in. And she's like, duh. And I'm just like, oh, please. Because I know with Montana, in a couple of minutes, she'll be like, where's daddy? Where's daddy? So she's going to start meowing in a minute. But it's okay because there are girls. It's okay. Have a spider webs outside and inside my pool screen. Let's take bet Sunny turns her mic on when she gets back. Wait, bet. See, oh, smarty. What did Miss Dog ever say? I saw a spider earlier, bloody massive, prodded it and reversed it underneath the skirting board. I filled the gap. That's funny. I know we're totally off on random talking now here for a minute, but there's nothing worse though when a big spider is up in the frickin' corner. And I've had it where literally I was on my iPad and a freaking spider right down in front of me. You want to see someone like right fast? Nothing worse than when a freaking spider drops in front of your freaking face. And it's nighttime, it's dark, and the only light that's coming up is my iPad. And I was just like, shit, where'd you come from? I love the art.
Miss Dog Lover Super Chat. 4 pounds and 99 pence. Thank you. I saw a spider earlier. Bloody massive. Prodded it and reversed under the skirting board. I filled the gap with little scared face.
Oh, my face is blurry here. Hold on. Sometimes I gotta look in the camera. Come back? Okay, I think I'm back. Okay. That scared the shit right out of me. So you've probably seen a massive S right now underneath me. I totally forgot, Miss Dog Lover, that the music was going to... I knew the music was going to play, and then I forgot as I was reading your comment. It scared the shit right out of me. Anyways, thank you so much, Miss Dog Lover. House spiders are so fast. Yeah. We're going to... You know what? I'm trying to think of something to do for Halloween with you guys. I have to think about it. Because, I was watching a show yesterday, and the thing is that it's, it's really hard. It's not like you can just watch a movie on YouTube, because if you watch a movie from any of the sites and you can't really watch it from somebody else's channel, because then you get a copyright strike. And if you watch it from a Netflix or any sort of thing, it will literally stop you in the stream and end your stream. Basically end your stream until you stop playing what you're infringing on. So anyways, so I'm trying to think of ahead of time, because now that it's October 3rd, maybe, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to put some thought into it, just what we can do to have some fun together on Halloween. I don't know. I'll think about it. Well, oddly enough, what I stopped saying was, maybe we can join Chaotic Beauties. You're going to join my virtual Halloween party this year. So when you say that, you're going to join my virtual. What does that mean by virtual? You're going to join my virtual. Like, you mean, is it on YouTube? We can make our own movie. Well, Miss Dog Lover, you know all you have to do is put one of those black hats on and you're good. You're good. Yeah. So just when you say virtual, like I'm always out to have fun. Takes us live, TPing with you. Take us live. What's TP stand for? I have my in real life one, and then I'm going to have one on YouTube. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Like I'm down. I'm down for anything that's fun. Like I love Halloween parties. So yeah, like if you're doing one on say Halloween, and I basically think what you're kind of saying, right, is that so you're going to be live on YouTube, but you're also going to be having like your real life party going on at the same time, and you're going to take us around with you type of idea. I think that's what you're meaning. And like I said, just got to tell me the date and I'm there. Mm-hmm. Well, what date would it actually be on? Do you know, Miss Doglove? No, it's not Miss Dogliver. Sorry. Chaotic? Toilet paper. Oh, toilet paper. You don't do peach trees in Canada? Well, not to say we haven't. Yes, we have. But yeah. Uh-huh. And Lou, I hope girls get justice. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, what date do you typically do your Halloween party on? Do you do it on the actual night of Halloween? Or do you do it like a day before, a couple days before? Anyways, let me know. We need to, you know what? We need to do that. We got to make a whole new, you know how we have like ASAP, GL, good luck, too much information. We need an LMK. I'll probably do my YouTube channel one the week before Halloween, and my in-person one is the 14th. Oh, your anniversary. Okay. Perfect. Gotcha. I'm thinking, yeah, well, like I said, just honestly let me know, because like I said, I'm always down just to chill out and throw some back and whatever, right? Right. And so just to go back to this guy in the video that was talking when he said like hug your family and stuff like that. You guys know, thank you, Chaotic. But don't invite Adam. Mm-mm. He's a buzz killer for sure. No, yeah. Just kidding. But you guys know I always preach to you about the importance of people over money and stuff like that, because I watch it all day long myself, because from when I was very young, I'm going to preach to you guys right now, just listen and shut up. When I was very young, I was always very aware of the importance of what meant something. And people seem to get so caught up in their lives and doing, like I said, worrying about money or how much money they can make and blah, blah, blah. And that's what, when the COVID came along, it really grounded a lot of people. Now, I don't know if those same people stayed grounded or once jobs came back, they went back on their uppity selves and full of, whatever. But to me, family and just like I said, trying to be a decent human being in life and stuff like that, and caring about your family and that everything over and above anything else and stuff like that means more to me than anything that money could ever offer. Sure, money's nice, blah, 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 makes the world go round. But people forget, they get lost in life as they're moving along it, get mad at their children, blah, 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 and stuff like that, can say mean and cruel things and to people or looks at their family and or their kids and stuff or their husbands, and it always reminds me, like, if something ever happened, I'm always thinking in that if something ever happened world, because if something ever happened, like I was just talking with my son today, and it was only because I was watching a YouTube video, which prompted me to message him. Because something ever happened. Okay, actually, let me tell you something today. Yeah, just kidding. And not to be a buzz killer here. So I was watching this video today, and it was about a girl. And this girl was talking about how her mom took her life on her birthday 2 years ago. So then she kind of proceeded to tell the story about, how her stepmom is actually what she considers her mom and her real mom isn't. So one of my biggest sadnesses in this world is that I have one son, okay? And during the divorce, my son turned on me. And that wasn't helped by, well, he turned on me because he wanted his father's love. But what the ex did with that, because he knew that Matthew was the most important thing to me, is that he literally planted seeds and created apparent alienation and stuff like that, right? So as this girl's telling her story, in a sense, I'm thinking about, so although her mom was more, I think, when she was born, her intestines were outside of her body and she was born with opiates, so she was obviously a very angry child, and her mom had literally left her in a hotel room for 8 days with snacks. And she said she'd started losing her hair, and most of it she doesn't remember, but she started losing her hair and her, kind of like when, like the children in Ethiopia and that, when their bellies get really big because of lack of proper nourishment and stuff like that. But anyways, because being a mother, I could listen to her story and see it by both sides. I could see why she would, push her mother out of her life as the mother kept trying to come in it. So I know for a fact, after watching that video, that, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say it, I'm not, sometimes of dark thoughts myself, because the hurt and pain of a parent, this mother, you can tell, might not have been the best mother to her perception, but this mother obviously loved her daughter, and she tried to get her back, and the daughter just kept has pushed her away, up until the day that she died on her birthday. That mother took her life because the pain is so deep when you love your child so much and they've just blocked you out of their life, pretty much like what my son has done to me since the divorce. It's the most painful thing ever. Have I thought to take my own life? Yeah. To be honest, I was never that person. But the pain is so deep that when you have only a couple things that you love, one being my husband, the second being my son, first being my son, second being my husband, the pain is so unbearable to me that my son, in a different way, because hers is different than mine, I would say it's different in the sense that you have someone was I considered myself like one of the best mothers on this planet. That's how much I loved my child. I just wanted everything the best for him, to take care of him, protect him, all those things. I just wanted him to be a well-balanced child, right? And I did everything for my child that I could do to try to keep him that way. So I took my role seriously as a mother. Obviously, that mother had issues going on and stuff like that. But the one thing I tried to explain is that to my son, especially, like I did today after watching that, I sent him a message. So I sent him a message because I keep messaging my son. And I'll say, love you, son, just seeing how your day's going. And I get one message back saying, good, okay, if I'm lucky. If I'm lucky, I might get a message back 3 or 4 days later. So for 10 years now, I've put myself up with all his hurtful words, that he wishes I was dead, etc. That I'm the shittiest mother ever, blah, 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 blah. But these things hurt deep when you love a child, right? And so I sent him a thing after watching this today, because I'm really tired of feeling like I don't even have a son. And I'm really tired of messaging just to get like smart ass remarks back, or I feel like I'm not even having a conversation besides with, a child that just could care less about his mom. So at the end of it, I said something like, well, at the end of the day, all I have is the photos and the memories. Um, so something about this. So something about this is the end. I have to look back at it, not whatever. Now I just meant that as in I can't talk to you. I cannot message you anymore because I'm so tired of feeling that it's unhealthy to constantly cry over something that I can't control. And I'm really just tired of getting beat down by his comments. And I feel like I don't even have a son. So my message was actually about that. So what happened was he had sent me a message back, but I didn't know. And so at this point, I'm talking to my mother-in-law and my husband on Messenger and whatever. Now, when I look back at my message to my son, it said, like, are you talking aside, or do you just mean that it hurts too much to talk to me? Now, he had sent that about right after, but I didn't see it because I was talking to like I said, on Messenger to my husband and to my mother-in-law. And so I hadn't answered him back, but I was messaging. So when I seen it, I was messaging back, but it was a good one because I wanted to explain why I feel the way I do. Like why it hurts so bad when you love your child so much, so I wanted to be very specific on what I was saying to him in my answer. So I heard a little whoop come in and I'm like, oh, is that my husband messaging me? And then I seen my son, after I hit the message, I seen my son say, can you just let me know if you're okay? Now, so I sent off that message and then he read it and he goes, well, if you get a call from Auntie Tanya, it's because he had called her. Yeah. So he had called my son, who totally always tells me how much he hates me and that I'm the worst parent and blah, blah, blah. Absolutely not true. But it's really hurtful hearing it, that your son keeps treating you like you're a piece of garbage for all those years, right? As a parent, you guys know that, right? You have a child and all of a sudden they just want to treat you like shit, like you don't exist, like you were the meanest person to them or something. And then that's not true. That's twisted information with the hands of the ex propagating parent alienation. And exactly what's going on, but the child doesn't see it. But anyways, so when he said that I'll be getting a message from my twin sister, I was like, oh, he legitimately cared. He thought that I thought that possibly what I was saying to him, that I was going to end my life, which I never thought about those words at the end. I was just trying to say that I can no longer keep doing this. And that's what I meant by it. So because I didn't answer him back, he called my sister, which he never would do. Like my son he hates pretty much everyone in our family, right? It's just crazy. But anyways, so that just showed me that he did care. So going back to my original point was that, again, I tried to explain to him, if I was not here, you don't have any more chances to say you're sorry or to feel or to take away that guilt that you're going to feel, because you just want people to remember the important things in life. And again, you have one mom, you have a dad. Like my husband's dad, he's a shit dad, and his dad just fell down and broke his hip and pelvic and different things off of scaffolding. And his dad's not, his dad's like whatever he is, 50 or something like that. And his dad was a shitty dad, he didn't prioritize his family over his wife, which is my mother-in-law, or the children. So they have a lot of hate for him. But when something happens like this, it's amazing how fast they're messaging, even though they know that he's not the best dad in the world. And, even though my son doesn't have an excuse to sit there and say shit his mom, but whatever his thoughts are, I just wish that he would ever speak to me, so that we could come to an understanding at least of my feelings to why I'm hurting versus his feelings of why he felt like I abandoned him. Because I never abandoned my son, but he has that perception, but he'll never discuss it. So if he never discusses it, how can you fix anything? Because all his anger is towards what an unkind, mom. I don't want to say unkind. Just that because his dad always said that that I thought I had a halo on my head. The minute the divorce, see there she goes. That's Chrissy. Then all of a sudden, that's when Matthew started talking just like his dad. So my son is a little mini me of his father, and I hoped in all of the stuff that the ex-husband has put our child through parent manipulation and stuff and planting seeds, that Matthew would always remember the heart that his mom gave him. So it was just it made me go a little bit of awe that he actually called my twin sister his auntie to just make sure, because he goes, well, of course I was worried. Oh, really? So I'm not the shittiest mom in the world, and you do care a little bit? You know that they do.
Miss Dog Lover Super Chat. £4 and 99 pence. Thank you. Sonny, I haven't seen two of my cousins since we were kids. The mother poisoned them against my uncle, who was a good person.
Yeah. And that's just it. And that's kind of like, too. Thank you, Miss Dog Lover, again, for your super chat and for your comment. That's kind of like what my husband, as we were doing that live yesterday, which I turned it into a video because I needed to edit out something. And Miss Dog Lover, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I had to turn it into a video and delete the live just because I needed to edit out that one spot so that it automatically will turn into a video and stuff like that. But that's what my husband was talking about. Why is it people try to beat down good people? And that includes my son. When people try to beat you down and you feel like you just don't deserve that at all, it's honestly, it's hard. And, and then it poisons, like you said, and stuff like that. And that's the part that sorry, my face is, I'm going, okay, there we go. That's a part that hurts me in this world and stuff like that. And so sometimes people think like, oh, Sunny, you're, like you're aggressive, like can be aggressive and whatever. Yes, I can, because in my world, people are kind, caring, giving, and sharing. Honey, can you let your little bitch out, please? Thank you. See if you heard. Montana, I adopted her, right? Because I never had a girl. Now I said if I had a girl, I would adopt. I'd name her Montana. So in the SPCA, her name was Montana. But yet your daddy's sucky, aren't you? Yeah. Anyways, that one's Montana. But I can always guarantee that at some point she's gonna meow, I want daddy, meow, I want daddy. On there. Got your back, Sunny. Thank you, Zeller. Anyways. So just because of the comment, it really always, melts my heart when people understand about what life is truly about. And again, it's just about trying to care about people and love people. Let your family know that you care about them. My husband even sometimes doesn't understand. Instead he'll just sit there and call me a worrywart. And I'm just like, no, give me a damn proper kiss before you go. Because if something does happen, you're going to have that regret that you didn't have time to give me a proper kiss. And he's like, oh, you're overthinking it. No, because the truth is, if it did happen and he didn't give me a proper kiss and something, not that I live in this world where you think that always something's going to happen, but I live in the world that if something could happen, because we all know that life is precious and it can end at any given moment. And it's just remembering that no, give me my damn proper kiss, because I don't want you to have regrets that you at least didn't give your wife a proper kiss before you left this door. And instead you just raced out of here, give me a little peck on the mouth, and then you would feel guilty about it. Right? I know that. I'm wise enough to know. You guys know that would happen, So when I sit there and say things like that and get made fun of, being like I'm, thinking as if, like my husband will make me feel, he'll make me think like, that's just because you're in true crime and you're a worrywart and this. No, it's not because of that. It's because I always understood since I was little what was truly important. It's kind of like instead of having a fight, kiss your, husband or whatever, wife goodnight, because at the end of the day that most fights, unless it's about an affair and all that stuff, are ridiculous, and those ridiculous little fights turn into mountains instead of whatever, and I try to teach my husband that, right? About, sometimes you can admit that even if you think you're right, you can still say, I'm sorry, and that's where the cancer in him comes in, because I have learned to say I'm sorry, even if I feel like I was right, because I would rather just not argue. And husband doesn't want to argue at all either, but he doesn't know how to say sorry. It's so rare. It's so rare. So I try to teach him, you don't always have, even if you're right or wrong, sometimes you just go, you know what, I would rather not, be in an argument. Not, yeah, he doesn't like to argue, but he can very much twist it around too, to like, I didn't do anything wrong. No, you're so perfect. But it's the cancer in us both, because we're so similar, I'm mature enough to understand that you don't need to always be right, even if you are right. My grandmother, bless her soul. Okay. Oh, no problem. Thanks, Chaotic. You take care. Love you. My grandmother, bless her soul, always said, never go to bed in an argument. Well, I mean, that's just the truth of it. Not that we're all perfect and do that stuff, but again, I just hate it when I see the world hustling and bustling around, and people come up and they talk to you like you're a piece of crap because they somehow think that they're better than you, because I've always known that no one's better than us, right? We all are like there's crappy people in this world, but at the end of the day, it's like, I don't give a crap what job you have, how many viewers you have. That doesn't make you this great person, just because of that. It's just really how you handle yourself. That's why I know if I ever reach the point of 500,000, 200,000, million subscribers at some point, whatever in this lifetime, I will never change, because I don't care if it's a channel that's less. And that's what, sorry, you guys, I'm just going a bit of a rant. That's kind of what has ticked me off a bit in the true crime, is I've seen so many people that will only go on shows that are beneficial to them in a sense, and because they're trying to ride up in the ranks, and so it's like you could sit there and send them an email, but no, they won't go on your show, because they'll only go on this show because it has maybe 40K more viewers or 100K more viewers and stuff like that. And so when you see people, and there's I'm not even going to go there, but it's just really hard when you realize what a lot of people are like. And that's kind of why I stay away from a lot of YouTube creators, because besides the ones that are more grounded, it's just funny watching these same people that ignored your email, ignored your Twitter message and whatever, and act like they don't even see it. And, oh, I'm sorry, are you on this person's live all of a sudden? Funny how that works. So that tells me a lot about who the person is, and sounds like my husband and I haven't done anything wrong. My husband is the bad. He doesn't understand it. But my husband is the worst for, let's say I'm upset about something, and I had good reason to kind of feel upset. He'll be like, I did nothing wrong. Like, meaning this is you. Like, you're the one creating an argument for nothing. And I'm like, wait, you're telling me that when I say I feel like a third wheel sometimes here in my own home, my own marriage, because of his brother being here. I said, so if I say you're telling me that I'm crazy for thinking like that? And he'll say, because you're not a third wheel. And I'm like, because you're not the one that's affected by it. You're the one that's making me feel like the third wheel, because you're often doing stuff with your brother. And I'm just like, you don't even ask me if I want to go to the frickin' Dairy Queen or whatever. You guys are just like, hey, we're just going to head off to Dairy Queen. See you later. And he's like, well, I thought you didn't want to go. But you didn't ask me. You don't even ask me anymore. You just like, well, I'm going to whatever. And then he'll be like, you're the one that's causing the issue then, because I don't see any issue. And I'm like, Are you kidding me? Like, and I can honestly tell you that my husband literally thinks it's like looking at a deer in headlights. He looks at you like, what are you even going on about? And I'm like, how do I explain to somebody that that's my perception and that's how I'm feeling? And I'm not feeling the same way he is about it, but it's like someone telling you you're a cuckoo clock because you're feeling like a third wheel and they're telling you that you're just making that up. I'm not making you feel that way, so you must be feeling that way yourself. And then you sit there in your head and you're like, is this freaking for real? Am I literally having this conversation? Right? My husband has a knack for doing that. And he doesn't understand that he doesn't take accountability for any argument ever, ever. You know, like when he says sorry, this is a sorry. Sorry. And I'm like, and that's his Brit attitude, right? That's his British attitude, Miss Dog Lover, you know? So he's not mature enough because of the 21-year age gap. He's not mature enough to understand because we're both cancers and we're stubborn, but I'm not as stubborn as him. He thinks he is so set on the fact that if he did nothing wrong, he should never apologize. I'm trying to teach him, you don't have to be right or wrong. You can just apologize. And he's like, well, why would I apologize if I did nothing wrong? Okay, let me go talk to the wall because I'll probably get a better result on that. And exactly, Fibro. That's what I try to teach him. You know, instead of building this anger towards me, as he says that, I'm like, all you literally had to do was say, I'm sorry, honey, I love you. That's all he had to do. But instead, he gets this freaking British attitude and his voice kind of raises, not a lot, but a little bit, because he looks and he's so confused that I'm even telling him that he's wrong, that he wasn't right, or that he should say sorry. Like he literally, do you know what I mean? It's not like a fake confused. It's somebody literally sitting there going, no, doesn't make sense. I did nothing wrong. I shouldn't have to say sorry, da-da-da-da. And when he does say sorry, and so I try to teach him that. I'll tell you, it's the one most stubborn thing. My husband's really good for when I teach him things, about things, because he's younger, right? But when it comes to the whole story part, I've never seen such stubbornness in a person that will not budge. It's almost like he goes into that flight or freeze mode and he freezes and he doesn't know what to do, so that I understand, so it's just one of those things that over the years he'll understand at some point. The British attitude, that's male. Oh yeah, I'll tell you, those Brit men got freaking attitude. I'll tell you that much for sure. I'll say they got this attitude and stubbornness to go with it. That doesn't fly too well with me. I don't mind being stubborn, but after 5 minutes, it's done and over with, Yeah, I'm offended. Two opposites attract. That's why we've been married that's just the thing. Is that opposites attract, but similar people attract too. So it's kind of like a catch-22 because me and my husband are so similar. But honestly, we rarely argue. We've argued a little bit more since his brother's been here, just because it's the adjustment of somebody literally coming into your life and you just can't walk around the house naked or nothing like that and stuff like that. And you have to lock the door to go to the bathroom or, it's like they're going out and I'm like, well, it's funny how you used to call me on your lunches all the time and now you never call me, so it's just going through the adjustments and stuff like that. I just want them to understand the balance, right? When you give a freaking female something, you don't start taking that shit back. If you came off acting like, that you would rather talk to your wife at lunch than talk to the men at lunch and blah, blah, blah. And then somehow down the line that changes. And little by little, they start taking those things back that they used to do and stuff like that. It's like, no, you can change a bit, but you ain't going to take back all the reasons why I was with you. Give those back, right? And it's like they start becoming forgetful a little bit. But women, We don't forget the shit you gave us. You know, and it's like, yeah, I don't mind you changing things up, but you start pulling everything back and they kind of start forgetting. So I try to remind them, like, do you remember how I taught you how to kiss? Do you remember how I taught you, you know, all these different things? Do you remember why you came to Canada? Oh, right. It was for me, you said, right? Okay. So what remember you called me Narna? Remember you said that my lips were so soft? It was just like heaven. Remember all those things that you did say that you don't say anymore? And he's like, well, no, I still think them. I just might not say them. Nah, not good enough for me. I want you to still say them. So if you have balance, I'm good with it. But the minute you take that balance out of perspective, you know, and leave it, you just don't give chicks stuff. We will not forget, right? We just don't. They will, but we won't. Yeah. Preach it, Sonny. I will. You know, someone's going to watch this live and they're going to be like, oh, yeah. And then totally turned into a whole therapeutic freaking preaching, whatever. It's like two separate lives. I should, when it's over, I should just block it into two different lives. It's called gaslighting. People that throw around. Oh, absolutely. Tell a gaslighter that, right, Ivy? Nobody can tell you how to. I know. I would never discredit how somebody feels. Because, and I'm just going to take the very situation, which was about the Carrie to Karen 4.0. Regardless how she felt, you know, and although it offended me because I thought, what the heck are you going on about? She felt obviously her way. So I can't take away how she felt, because if she is insecure or whatever her reasons are for thinking that I was ranting about her pose, I can't take away what she's feeling if that's her feelings, you know, but I just like have my feelings about it. So I would never, doesn't mean we agree with them, but I can never ever take away somebody's feelings, because we all have the right, even if we feel it's wrong, we still have the right to feel our way. And that's, to be honest with you, Ivy, that's probably one of the hardest things to deal with. If somebody says, I feel this way, and you say, well, I feel this way, and there's no way for middle ground in a sense, because, you know, one person say wants a kid, the other say parent doesn't. At what point is there a middle ground there? One does, one doesn't. So then you're left with, I don't even know what option there is then. Because if you feel strongly about this and I feel strongly about this, you know, like what's the alternative to that answer? There really isn't one, to be honest with you. And sometimes you come across those where you're like, okay, well, you're wrong. I feel like I'm right. And, or, you know, want to do this, and you say no. And you just know that there's times where you're just like, well, how do you fix it? Because I feel like, so when my husband like was saying to me, like, well, that's just crazy, me thinking I'm a third wheel. And I'm trying to explain to him why and yet still he won't absorb my feelings, you know? And it's not because, like, the thing is, if I felt like he was a true narcissist, but he's not. He literally has no clue how to handle any sort of argument type situations. He literally looks like a deer in headlights that literally sits there with this dumb look going, I don't get it. Why are you upset? Well, because you just told me that my feelings didn't count. What do you mean? Well, that's because you're saying that, you know, you feel like a third wheel. And he's looking at it only from his side. And I'm just like, okay, well, like, what do I keep saying then? Because if I keep telling you my feelings and you're not taking them into consideration, just to keep, because you're telling me about how I should be feeling because how you think it feels. Well, who are you to tell me that I shouldn't feel like a third wheel if I feel like a third wheel? Like, you know, and then it just becomes one of those things. Like, if he's not changing his thought and I'm not changing my thought, you know, knowing I'm the more mature one on there. My husband hates to argue. Like, he he goes into freeze mode at any sort of little argument, but it comes off as narcissistic. Shut up over there. It comes off as narcissistic, even though he's not a narcissist, but it comes off that way because he doesn't know how to, he's not mature enough. Whatever happened in his growing up with his father, and that he gained a lot of anger issues, but he might have he has the most, like, a ton of love and care. But by the same token, he doesn't know how to deal with arguments whatsoever. It's like flight or freeze type of thing. He will freeze. And he doesn't know how to deal with those emotions. So he will just go to his computer and just sit there and play on his games. And then for hours, he will not come see me because he doesn't want to come back to thinking that another argument might happen or something like that. Which, 20 female years sitting there going, get your ass in here right now. Wait, what? 2 hours? Oh, now I'm getting pissed. Oh, 4 hours? Really? Really? You can't come say, I love you, wife? No. Honestly, like I said, everyone, regardless, has things in their relationship that go up and down. Ours is very nominal, to be honest with you. But, there always are a few things. And because we're so similar and because we're both cancers, we're very stubborn. But the thing is that there's a 21-year age gap, Ocean, and the maturity and how to deal with things, women, no offense to men here, but women typically have a better grasp on how to multitask in their head, different things, and, more men think in the box, which is true, more in this instance. It's only this instance and stuff like that. But my husband's a really great man. He just doesn't know deal with arguments very well, which usually causes a bigger fight because he doesn't know just to come say sorry sometimes, So I remember reading something where it literally said that that because we're so similar, and we're both cancers, that we have to very much watch the feeling part like that. That's the most part we need to watch for. And it's true. It's true. When you have two people that are very similar in thinking and you both think that you're right and you both are very emotional, I'm an emotional thinker, but he is too, but he doesn't realize it. But when you have two people that kind of think the same way, you can understand why it's kind of almost like they go, whoop. Ocean blue. I'm his dog lover. That's hilarious. I'm his dog lover. Haha, I know, they can't. And hold on a second. Let me see. Hold on a second. I'm just going to yell to my husband. Husband! Hold on. I don't know if he's gaming and doesn't hear me. Because usually I just say, come let your bitch out, please. And then, yeah. Hold on a second. Can you let your little bitch out, please? Oh, okay. It's because he's gaming. That's why that was so fast. Normally he'll go, come on, man. Come on, man. I could have let him out, but normally he goes, well, come on, man. Come on. Oh, where's Chris? Or where's Montana? But because he's gaming, it was like, what? You distracted me from my game. My cat is driving me crazy. Aw. It's so good. I mean, we're so whacked on a different conversation right now. And I don't care. I'm all good with that. We did a lot of true crime stuff yesterday. But yeah, cats, animals, right? They're so funny. They are so funny. That's why I think the same thing when children, aren't able to talk and they're just mostly pointing and saying little words. It's the most precious thing when it comes to animals. They're cute without even knowing how cute that they can be. Oh yeah, no, like I said, that's just the one stubborn side. But my husband is a great man. I love him to pieces. When you love something so much, you know, I can I no, I better not. Okay, I will. I remember my husband back before when we first met. He'd be like, "I love you so much. I just want to be inside you," but not meaning it like that way. Meaning that it's like you know what I mean. He just wanted to like. It's like, oh, I love you so much. Like I can't hold you, as much and whatever. He doesn't quite say it like that anymore, but he does. It's just all those cute things that sometimes that they say, and I'd be like, okay. So, anyways, that's how much I love my husband back. Is that you just are like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Statements are the best. I feel blank when blank. I feel left out when you don't ask me to join. So then it's not blaming them and gives them something they can change. I feel like I'm in school. Yeah, I statements are the best. I feel blank when blank. Yeah. True enough, Ivy. I'm just trying to go back to some of these messages. Feeling like your third wheel doesn't make it true. In the moment, it really doesn't matter if it's true. It really matters that the person feels that way. That's what a lot of people, hold on. Let me reread that. Feeling like you're a third wheel doesn't make it true. Kind of lost on that. In the moment, it really doesn't matter if it's true. It matters that the person feels that way. Yes. Okay. Now understood. Absolutely. So to my husband, he didn't feel like it was a true statement. But to me, the best way I could describe it or say it is, I feel like I'm a third wheel, and then I would explain why. And then he wouldn't get it. And he wouldn't get it. And he wouldn't get it. And sometimes though, he'll say, okay, I never thought of it like that. That's when I know he's learning. When he makes those statements like, okay, I guess I just didn't think of it that way. Right. And that's why in true crime and stuff like that, multiple heads at trying to solve something or figure something out, are better than one, because we all have different ways of thinking, right? Some people are more grounded. Some people are like, spastic and whatever. Probably in the spastic category here myself. But you know what I mean? It's like I feel like I've always been like this kind of like spastic type person, just because I use hand motions and I'm like people are like, I got a lot of energy. Let me put it that way. But yet by the same token, I can think logical as well. And it's almost like my twin sister, who is very logical and boring as shit, gets placed into the better category because of her mannerisms and how she is. Yet I could be way smarter than her. And just because I'm more spasticky, I'm deemed as, almost more like a looser cannon type of thing. And I'm always thinking, look, I can get to A to Z faster than you, on your boring ass road to A to Z. Anyway, let's see. Later, are you leaving us? I have to go back to work. Bye, Ivy. Yeah. Stone cats are hers. Well, we give our ones, catnip. I'd say that I think it's Montana. Yeah, definitely Montana likes it more than Bambi. But it's like, honestly, it's pretty hilarious watching Montana roll around in that catnip, like psycho. Like, from a cat that just kind of looks at you going, Dad. Like Montana literally is that cat that literally goes, like, what are you talking about? She has this very confused look, like a deer in headlights. She literally has that look. And then you put Franklin some catnip on the floor, and she's all crawling in it on her back, and then she looks at you and goes, yeah, and then starts flipping through the house, at like freaking Mach speed. And then she goes back to Montana's a very perfect cat. Perfect cat. Like I can't even think of a more perfect cat that I've ever had. This cat is like the best student in class. 6 months old puppy. 2 dogs at the moment. I think they're crazy. They're in their 70s. MDL, they must really love dogs. I know, it makes me want to go watch the movie now. What is it called? That movie? Something like, what's it called? Must Have Dogs? Is that what it is? Must Have Dogs? I think it was Must Have Dog or something like that. One of those romance movies. Honestly, my cat. Hey, give me a second for a sec, guys. Give me 1 sec. Miss Dog Lover, keep the chat entertained, all 21 of you. Okay, obviously, Miss Dog Lover does not know how to entertain people while I'm gone. I don't see anything there, Miss Dog Lover. In fact, she just stopped talking whatsoever. anyways, I'm going to get going here soon anyway. Is there anything that you guys like? I don't know. I'll see if Adam wants to do a live tonight. I got nothing pressing to do. Yeah, I should have left Sharon in charge. But I don't know. Is there anything you want to talk about before I get going, guys? And if so, okay, let me ask you guys, since you guys are the loyal followers anyway, what would you like to do a live on tonight if we did one? I'll just let you guys think about that. I'll just sit here. I went to my parents' last Saturday night and took the pups into the garden. It was late. They were on the ground wrestling. Ah, the little pups. I miss when you're not on. I know, Sharon. I know, Sharon. I get with you, and like just saying this, but I get with you that you totally love it when we on. It's like almost coming to your second home here, And I know that you've had a hard time, or and I'll put it that way because it might not be true, but I recognize that you have a hard time when we're not on that much and stuff like that, and then you're missing seeing the lives because I know to you it's like I said, it's like your secondary home to come to. So okay, so to be honest with you, that's exactly what I was going to do. I wanted to update Rachel Morin, and then of course, see, I'm not the best multitasker in the world. Like, some people can accomplish all these different lives on their chats throughout the day of different topics, and sometimes I can, but I was going to do Rachel Morin, and then this case with Charlotte came about. So, of course, I pushed it to the side, but wanting to do an update and just kind of, not that there is a big update, but, keep the awareness about Rachel Morin, because that's another person that we need to, find the person that took her life and get that person off the streets before they harm another person again. So I literally messaged you about. Oh, I must have you on mute because I don't. Just so I don't hear ding 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 ding. Oh, let's see. Let me just take a. Let's see. Okay, I don't see it there. Unless you got anything else planned. Oh, you could pop on. Okay. Hey, Miss Dog Lover, I just saw the message. Yeah, you want to pop on for a little bit with me? But you do have to let me go to the bathroom once you pop on, okay? You have to host the show for a minute, okay? Actually, no, I was going to put the link in here. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be dumb. I try not to put the link inside chat. I'll put it to your messenger. That's when you get those Rick rolls, the trolls. They come out very fast. How many of you guys have seen ads during the live or come across ads? Because Sharon, I think you said that yesterday. Because basically YouTube, like I said, keeps evolving and changing. And so it's best for a creator to let YouTube decide the ads for their most optimization, okay, for ad revenue. And so now they have this option where you can turn on the ads. So before, the way it worked was, if in YouTube Studio, you could literally insert an ad if you wanted to. I never did it that way. But now that they've changed it and say, hey, let us worry about your ads, I'm like, okay, absolutely. So for the fact that obviously, I have to earn money too, so I have to have ads, and so YouTube, because they're evolving, the whole point is that everything is about ads and this is how YouTube makes their money. And this is how, really, I get some donations, and I'm very grateful for those donations and membership. Whoops. But it's not a ton. I don't get a ton. Okay. I'm lucky, honestly. If I, oh, what's that noise in the background?
Hello?
You outside?
No, it's the oven.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I've just turned it off. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I thought you were outside. It sounded like this breezy. Anyway, so it has to be a give and take, right? You guys can come watch streams, but by the same token, creators still need to earn their money too. Ones that deem it as a job. My face, hold on, I gotta bring it back. Man. So since you're here, can you see chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go to the washroom just for a sec, if you don't mind. And Helen, the thing is that, like I said, YouTube's changing like that. Oh, Mr. Clever, are you playing with your mic now? You good? Are you good? Mr. Dog Lover. Good?
Yeah, I've turned it off. Yeah.
Oh no, you were just after that you were playing with your mic or something.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, it's just that the way it comes through the speakers, like to our end, it is like someone going hello right in front. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
sorry. Sorry about that.
No. It's just that the sound you're making, you wouldn't even notice how loud it is because it's nominal on your side, but coming through the speaker, it's like, whoa, what's so good? But anyways, so right. I pay, right. And I was just going to say that. So it was going to be my last comment before I went to the bathroom. I honestly suggest, if anyone just simply hates commercials, hates seeing ads, just spend that whatever money, $17.99 a month, whatever it is. And for people in the UK, it's cheaper, obviously. It's worth it if you hate ads. I pay for it so I don't have to watch stupid ads during a live, right? That's why I pay for it. Because I know what it's like when I didn't have premium and you come across the ads and you're just like, oh my God, skip. And there's other ones you have to listen to and stuff like that. So it's kind of like YouTube's way, right? It's like, well, if we don't get you here, we'll get you over here so that you get YouTube premium. It's worth it if you hate ads. That's all I can say. Other than that, ads are what pays in general. That's how YouTube makes their money. So they want to put as many ads out there as possible and rake in their coin so that they can pay creators their coin, blah, 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 Yeah, like I said, if you hate it, I would suggest just getting YouTube Premium. You'll save, you'll feel a whole difference in your experience on YouTube when you don't have to watch ads, right? Miss Dog Lover, you have Premium, right? Miss Dog Lover?
I have, yeah, of course. I hate ads. Yeah.
Yeah.
It winds me up. So yeah. No.
Yeah, same for me too. I just can't be asked. Let me just turn this down a little bit on there. Anyways, you take care of the audience for a minute. I'm gonna go give that toilet a drink, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I'll do my best.
Okay. Take control. Take control.
Okay, guys. How are you? I'm not used to this. Thanks for abandoning me, Sunny. Can you hear me, people? Maybe not. So what does everyone think about the what's happened with Charlotte being found? Obviously, it's a massive relief. I was majorly relieved, but I think it's going to be a long journey for her and her family. But I hope that she gets the support that she needs. Yeah, I'm from the UK. Yeah. A bit nervous because Sonny's abandoned me to go to the toilet. Yeah, no, you're right, Sharon. Like, I hope, like, because it's been bad enough what Charlotte and her family have gone through. I really hope that didn't happen. Yeah, Vibro, definitely. Lots of hugs, lots of cuddles. And I should imagine that her parents will have issues with, you know, probably letting her out of their sight again. Not that they should feel guilty about what happened, but I know as an auntie, I couldn't let a little girl out of my sight again like that. It's a sad state of affairs that this is the world that we live in at the moment.
I'm back. You don't have to be by yourself anymore.
Oh, thank God, Sonny. I'm not used to this.
I know. You know, like from you know, like for me personally, when I did lives, like right from the start, like besides me just wanting to make sure I knew how to do things, for me, it's so easy and natural just to come on and talk to people. You know, I do it in my real life just easily enough as well. But sometimes when you're in a position like you were just in, you know, even though you can talk, it's not quite the same when you're having to do something, you know, to say keep alive running, for instance. If it's, you know what I mean? It's like a different feeling all of a sudden. And then the pressure is on a little bit more. But you did just
thanks for that.
you did just fine. It was only a couple of minutes, you know?
Yeah, no, it was good though. People were reacting and had a good chat with people. So I think there's a delay, isn't there, at times? So yeah.
Not too bad. You never really have to delay. Thank you, Sharon. And honestly, like Miss Doglover, she typically is off camera, but she has been on camera. And you know, Halloween's coming up, and then she'll just turn on her camera and be like, and everyone will be like,
yeah, it was just me with no makeup on.
I mean, in all fairness, it's like 11 o'clock at night your time right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm really tired.
Right. So
yeah,
it's one of those things for you where it's so much difference that you probably just want to, like I said, chill out, don't be seen on camera, and blah blah blah, because it's like I said, 11 o'clock at night.
One day I will come on camera because I'm not even really confident with going on camera with work. With the work calls.
I get it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
the confidence thing.
Yeah. For me, like I said, I mean, it just really is each. But there's, I mean, I get it too. If some people, because I mean, obviously this goes across the internet, regardless, right? It's always something that's there, and sometimes people just would rather say talk behind an avatar than come on camera because they feel it's easier to talk behind an avatar than it is to talk when you're showing your face for some people because of the discomfort or
Yeah,
maybe
but
because.
also you don't know what people are going to do with that, do you?
Right. Correct. And for me, I don't have a care on that stuff at all myself because I like for me, I don't, but that doesn't mean that everyone thinks like I do. I just, I'm just kind of like, whatever. I mean, I guess it would depend on type of, if I had a job that, I don't know, like it would depend, I guess, really. Because sometimes jobs can impact things, but if it's just like a regular YouTube channel and you're just discussing, say, true crime and stuff like that, again, it just depends if you want people to know who you are or not know who you are, because I've never experienced it where someone said to me yet, like, "Whoa, have I seen you? Do I know you from YouTube?" What? Maybe one day down.
Yeah, and I mean, some people will do anything to get on TV and just be
You know.
noticed, won't they? Whereas I'm just really not that kind of person.
Yeah.
My confidence has grown over the years because it's had to with work where I've had to do like presentations in front of 100 people and just stand up and it's not natural to me. But the reason that's come out in me is because this means a lot to me. These cases, the fact
Right.
that we've just found a little girl alive when it doesn't usually happen. And
I
I just
know.
think that's amazing. And I'd love to come on and just talk about it because it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I'm not a mother, but I do have a niece. And I remember when she was Charlotte's age, 9 years old, walking through a shopping mall with her, holding her hand. And her mother had obviously trusted me to take her to this shopping centre, and I didn't take my eyes off her that whole time.
Right.
And it's a sad state of affairs. It really is. You shouldn't have to worry about that. But I
Right.
didn't take my eyes off her. I mean, you know the story with my brother died, and she never met him. So I felt an extra kind of protection towards her. But anyway, I think that's just natural for any kind of parent, any member of the family really, to look after the youngsters. So I can't imagine what her family have been through throughout the last couple of days. That is absolutely horrendous. But I think that she's going to get the best care in the world, hopefully. And she will come out an amazing, strong young woman from this.
Yeah. When they described your personality, and I'll answer you in a sec, Fibro. When they described your personality, I was like, okay, this child should be good. If knowing that I don't believe at all, she was essayed because he would have been charged for that because they would have known that. So to me, this was a kidnapping for some sort of money, obviously, or something like that. And of course, looking at their background, like meaning what you saw, you would expected the worst. She came out alive because of this. I think that through the love of the family, some therapy, that she's going to be very much more aware. The family is definitely going to be very much more protective. And I agree with you because I was the same way before having a child, is that I didn't take my eyes. It was my responsibility that this child was given to me for me to take care of while you go shopping with them or whatever. And it actually puts a lot more pressure on you when you know that it's actually not your child, when you're literally, the responsibility is now placed on you to make sure that nothing happens to this child. So there's actually more added stress to that than in a sense when it's your own child, because then with your own child, you don't have that stress because you just know your job is to protect that child regardless, but it's not quite the same feeling in a sense when it's a niece or whatever, then you actually have more pressure on you in a sense. I don't know how to explain that, because when you have when you do have children, that feeling, you would understand what I'm saying right now. But I was the same way, though. Would not take my eyes off. It's my responsibility to make sure that just this child, Oh, let me tell you about a quick incident on that. So I took my little nephew at the time when I was with Dion way back years, right? And I took little Justin, my little nephew, to this birthday party. Okay. And so at the birthday party, again, my job to protect him. At the birthday party, Justin was going up the stairs and I was behind him a few stairs. And then all of a sudden he fell backwards and he trickled down a couple steps. And oh my God, that was how fast that something could happen, even though I was right there watching him. But I just was trying to let him, climb up the stairs and do his thing and whatever. And then all of a sudden he just fell backwards and I'm just like, oh my God. Literally, your just throat goes up in your,
in an instant. Yeah.
In an instant, because in something so fast, that's how fast he fell down. And as much as you're right there, you're not right there, because you almost freeze, because you're like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? But anyways, and so after that, it's just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because you want, like me, it was like, if you want to come drop your kids off with me, don't worry, nothing's ever going to happen to them. But those little things can happen in an instant. And then, of course, you would be held accountable. So I had something happen where Justin fell down the stairs and broke his neck and something, whatever. The feeling would just be horrible, knowing that I wasn't being irresponsible, because I knew I wasn't. But yet it would come across looking like that, even though if anyone knew me, I'm one of the best people that you'd ever want watching your children, because, like I said, so it's just fast.
Yeah.
Let me just
it can happen so quickly, and that's the scary thing. I mean, back in the 80s, up to a certain age, we were told to stay in the front yard. In the suburbs of London, it was pretty safe back then. And then we were allowed to ride our bikes around the block and stuff. But now it's just like, I don't know if I would let my kids go out, especially in the woods and stuff.
No, I mean, you wouldn't, without your eyes always being on your child, because you sound like how I am with was with my son, how you would be as a parent.
Yeah.
You sound like you would play that same type of role.
Definitely.
Nope. My job is to protect you. Caroline Morgan. Welcome, Caroline. Let me just quickly answer Five Rose question just quickly, just so I can take it off the screen in a sec. So Five Rose just says, any question, if YouTube takes 30%, do they pay taxes and other government fees with it? I can see 30% if that's what they do. So yes, I mean, YouTube has to pay the taxes on everything, every income that comes in. So including that. Now, is this still an exorbitant amount for YouTube to take? Absolutely, it is. But that's how they make their money, and that's how they build their company. So it has to be, I mean, bottom line is, we have no option. We accept it. So the only way to avoid for YouTubers to try to earn, money properly, because let me just put it this way, if you think about it, if everyone's donating $10 and $3 comes off every single time and stuff like that, that instantly takes down that revenue. And that's why people ask that you use PayPal, Venmo, different things, buy a coffee. That way that YouTube doesn't get that money, because that money, really, the super chats and that's really a gift from the viewers, right? But again, how do you, bottom line is, it becomes the greedy get greedier. Simple as that. They got all this money, but they also want to say that this money is going towards, of course, their new technology and this and that and that. I understand that, but it's still an exorbitant amount. 20% would be a lot fairer, not 30. 30 is a bit much, right? don't have a choice.
Can I
Anyways,
just say that I saw Meme Helen's comment saying she thought that I was an Aussie.
oh yeah. Yeah.
I know. Helen, are you from the US? Because I think a lot of people from the US think that
It's
UK
true.
people are Australian. So I'd be interested to know that. But saying that, when I went to Australia, I was there for 3 weeks. When I came back, I definitely had an Aussie twang. Definitely had an Aussie accent.
Oh, people from this side of the world think my husband has an Aussie accent sometimes too. And it's because from the US and Canadian standpoint, we're oblivious to some of the accents. A New Zealander accent sounds really like an Aussie accent in a lot of ways. But a New Zealander or an Aussie would get offended if you equated the two. But come over to Canada or the US and decide which person is American and which person is Canadian. It's a two-way.
Yeah, I know. I asked my mum about that actually recently. I said, how do you know the difference between US and Canadian? And she said, well, the Canadians say a boot rather than about.
Oh my goodness, about. Why does that? See, that's one thing, right? About. It's not funny. So, right, especially on the eastern side, like on the eastern side, you'll know that it's not. But the thing is that, like I said, like people can think it's ignorance or whatever. Well, like I said, come over to this side of the frickin' pond, and then see how easy it is to tell the difference between some of the like what you consider accents, because between Americans and Canadians, besides some words sometimes that we use, or if you live in a place that has a southern drawl or more of the accent, of course you can tell that those are American ones. But let's just compare, say, someone from LA to someone from Canada and stuff like that, where we deem that as the regular English tone in a sense. You're not going to really tell us apart, whether we're whatever. So I don't take any offense if somebody, I mean, I might joke about it, but I don't take any offense. And the thing is, again, when you don't live on that side of the world, like to me, it's like, get over yourself. Nobody's perfect. People mistake, like I said, in Canada, the Aussie for the British accent all the time. But some people get their panties in a niche because you're saying, well, no, like this guy did from South Africa or something. I was like, well, dude, you literally sound like this. Like, sorry, like, excuse me. And he literally worked at Home Depot, and he was an older gentleman. It was just like, dude, like, seriously, like you're literally gonna get angry because I thought that you were. I think it was New Zealand and Aussie actually, and he, because to them it's offensive. Well, I don't take any offense if someone thinks I'm from the USA. Big deal. Who cares? No, I'm Canadian. That's it. I don't need to make a big deal about it.
No,
so
it's not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, it's when you're on the different side of the pond. I'm so sorry if I don't know much about England and all those different other countries over there. I don't. I pay attention to mostly what's over here in the US and Canada. And that doesn't make
everyone's different, aren't they? Everyone's different, and we all bring something new to the YouTube community, and particularly your channel. So yeah, it's not a problem at all.
It's nominal shit. That's what I'm talking about. It's nominal shit that people make deals about, which really isn't a big deal. So you correct them. Nope, I'm from here. It's not like you went off on, Meme Helen there because she thought you had an Aussie accent instead of a British, where some people will go off on you if you do that. And you're just like, come on, life's too short, bud. And like, seriously, who cares? Like, am I going to make a big deal about it? No, I don't take no offense to it at all, so, but some people do, right? But again, like I said, it's kind of like on this side of the pond, on your side of the pond, that side of the earth. I know this side of the earth. So that's most of my life what I pay attention to. So the only way I get to know about that side of the earth is because my husband's from England. And that's what's given me more knowledge about that side of the planet and the different freaking accents that are all within one freaking UK. Holy smokes, you guys got a ton of different freaking accents over there in a small piece of land. Ours is a huge piece of land, and we only have a couple accents really throughout Canada, like a few. You like when I look at the UK and the Brummies and all that stuff, and holy, like all the different UK accents that there are, the London accent, the Brummie accent, the what I don't even know. All I know is that I was shocked at how many different ways the British speak. If you lived in this part of British, the UK, or this part of the UK, or this part of the UK, you guys got a lot of accents over there for sure. Different ones. Yeah. What's yours called, by the way? It's dog lover.
Yeah, sorry, I saw my mute was I was muted.
Thought she was mad. But what is your accent considered for you?
Southeast England.
Okay. Is that what
Not
yours is?
quite. Yeah, not quite Cockney. Just Southeast London.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie though, Miss Doglover, I'm not sure how you feel about this, but I love the Aussie accent. Not necessarily on females, but I do happen to, okay, this is my personal opinion, don't get mad at me. I do happen to like the Aussie female voice more than I do the British female voice. But
can I just say that I prefer the male Australian voice?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Because I once had an amazing experience with one.
Yeah, I mean, I drool at the at the Aussie voice. Okay, like
yeah,
seriously,
but he was amazing.
Just saying, right? That's like a almost like a PORN type of convo, right? Yeah. Sharon can't handle that. She'll probably pass out on us if she hears stuff like that. But yeah. Oh, hey, Melissa. Oh, can I have an update, please? Do you want to give her, Melissa, an update, Mrs. Dog Lover? Which on Melissa?
Sorry, I missed that. Say that again.
Oh, Melissa just logged. She's just logging on. She says, "Can I have an update, please?"
Yeah. So we just established that the male Australian voice is very sexy.
Yeah. And about the cases.
And Sunny will update you on the cases.
Wait, you can update on the Charlotte one. There's not much to update. You know about that one?
I can do. What, are you busy?
I'll take Delphi. No, I'll take Delphi.
Okay. I don't
yeah.
know. I'm quite tired, to be honest with you. It's like nearly midnight here.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, do you mind?
I get it if you're tired and it's like.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
Okay. So when it comes to Delphi, Melissa, so for Delphi, there was a defense additional Frank's motion. And basically what that one was about was 4 pages long. And it was just saying basically that Tony Liggett and Holman and that are liars. And that's pretty much why that they, want this Frank's hearing to go on, because they deem them as being untruthful. Basically saying that about the Purdue professor, with the whole Odinism thing, and that Holman had said like they didn't know the name of the person and blah, blah, blah. Yet he had talked to them the professor back in August, and only after the Frank's hearing memorandum, they're saying, is when he claimed like, oh yeah, I know who he is now. And his name is Turco, the professor. And so basically it's trying to like almost like catch him in a lie, right? Basically saying that they're lying, that there's a lot more to Odinism, and that they misrepresented what was truly going on and trying to hide it from Judge Diner, so that they could get the search warrant type of thing. And basically it's just defense saying that the prosecution is showing that they're lying here. And that's why they're asking for the Frank's motion. As for Charlotte, Sena, Obviously, the suspect is 46-year-old Craig Nelson Ross Jr., and he's been charged with kidnapping. He was not charged with SA. And so the home at 2133 Barrett Road is where the child, Charlotte, was found in the white camper that's in the back. I can show you that if you'd like. I think I still have it up. Share screen. Let me just try to find quickly that picture. Is this it? No. Come on. Come on, Google. There it is. Okay. So this home right here, again at 2133 Barriston Road, Ballston Spa, New York. So this is his mother's home here. And so this is the camper that she would have been in, is right here. So he looks, I'm sure you've seen perhaps, like this. So this is Craig Nelson Ross. And so, yeah, so, I mean, basically that's it. He's been charged with kidnapping. We don't really understand what the ransom note had on it, because obviously it does not seem by any means that there was an SA assault on this child, because he was not charged with that. He was only charged with kidnapping. And obviously he put a ransom note, because he is so stupid, at the home of, Charlotte's family's parents' home. And that's pretty much it for the moment, So it'll be interesting, because we don't know what's on the ransom note. So it'll be just interesting if this is a money grab type of thing, like trying to extort money by stealing the child, knowing that in their background and his brothers that these are like basically pedos, right?
Yeah, but also, how did he know where they lived?
Well, that's just the thing. He probably obviously knew the family in some way, shape, or form to obviously extort them, to put a ransom note at the address. So he would have had to have known he would have had to have known them or someone close to them in order to know that. I feel like he somehow knew that they were going to be camping, looked for the opportunity at some point for whatever reason to try to extort money. But I think that he would have had to have known in some way, shape, or form this family. Do you guys think so? No, I think apparently they found the fingerprint, Melissa, on the mailbox. That's what I saw somebody say, that it was the mailbox and not the letter. Whether that's true or not, I'd have to go back and look. But either way, it was through the fingerprint, which led them back to him. So it depends on what's in that note, It literally, so to me, it sounds at this moment. Do you think so, Miss Dog Lover, that it was something to do with, obviously, to try to get money out of this?
Well, like someone else said, I think it might be Sefer. Thank God for stupid criminals.
Yeah.
To actually go up and put a ransom letter in the mailbox of the home.
Was funny. That was me. I said that.
Oh, that was you.
I was on last night's live. I said that. but
it would have been watched, obviously.
Right, but he's so stupid. He didn't obviously know that. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. He's a mailman. Did he deliver mail in their area? I wonder. Did he deliver mail in their area? That would be interesting. Definitely he had hand delivered the note. Correct. Right. So basically what happened was this, Melissa, is that he went to go put the ransom note into the mailbox. Little did he know that there was a cop that was watching that home that literally saw him go put the the ransom note in the mailbox. Now, of course, they didn't arrest him at the time because they're just thinking probably somebody's going to put something in the mailbox. But it wasn't. So that's why then they went to a few addresses because he was known to say be at his home, say at 13 Circle Drive there, and at his mom's home, which is about, I think it's about like 15, 20 minutes away, up on the 2133 Barrett Road in that camper that I just showed you. So I do wonder now that we say that, if he did happen to deliver mail in that area, and did he notice the children, like, or did he have some knowledge that they were going to be camping and that's why he was there? I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
Can I just ask?
Yeah.
Was he like the postman? Did he deliver mail, or are they referring to him as the person that delivered the ransom note?
Well, he delivered the ransom note. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that. But was he a post? Like in the UK, we call them postmen.
So we would say deem a mailman typically as someone that goes and delivers mail to the homes. Is that what you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So a mailman is typically deemed as somebody that, I mean, they kind of usually we use that term when it's somebody that delivers the mail to the different addresses. Yeah. So I wonder if he actually worked on that route. I guess the story will hopefully come out a little bit clearer on this ransom note and why this was a targeted family, because it seems to be a target to this family, obviously.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's been targeted.
Well,
yeah,
I can't
see any other way. Yeah.
No, because you can't go to a campsite, get this child. You have no idea who this child is. Let's just say, right? If you didn't, how would you know where they even lived remotely? So the only way that you would know where they lived remotely is if you knew their names, which he could have had access to the names, and then looked them up on search and found their address. So that is plausible. But I think that for some reason that's the less likely plausible way. I mean, but it could be still that, because he didn't deliver the note until, of course, after he abducted her while the police were surveilling his house. So, I mean, once it hit the news, you automatically typically have a name of the parents, not always, but sometimes you do. So he could have easily searched that, but I just don't feel like that was how it went. I feel like there's a connection, more like he knew that family was going to be there. I could be totally wrong. What do you guys think?
Yeah, but also, like, does he think that the family have money?
Well, that's just it, right? Perhaps he knows them from church of some sort. Perhaps, I don't know. That's the part of the story, I guess, that, hopefully in the coming days we'll find some more answers out about that part of it, because there is a few different scenarios for sure, because if you thought it was just a pedo and he abducted her for SA type of thing, that's why we know that usually in those cases children are lucky to be alive. But because it was more, seems to be of a kidnapping and ransom, kind of like, doesn't it remind you a little bit about John Bonet, just a tad bit there, leaving a ransom note?
I thought that earlier, Sonny. I thought that earlier. Yeah.
Welcome back, Helen. But anyways, so to me, there's a couple different ways, but it the one that seems to me the most logical at the moment is the fact that he somehow knew this family, and he was at that park for a reason. And he only lived 2 minutes away, right? So
he must have followed them to the park, in my opinion.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking, or at least that he knew that they were going to be there, and that's why it makes you wonder if there's him or an associate that I don't know, because you would have to have knowledge that they were going to the park. Then that means you would have to be a close associate to that family, so it could be that avenue, or the second one being that he just simply Googled their name and found out their address. it just seems more likely that you would know who your target was and then put a ransom note for that child. Just idiot there.
Yeah,
Delivered it.
I mean, personally, I think he should have, he would have known how much money. Well,
Yeah, like I don't.
if he was intelligent, he would look into how much money that person would have and then set his ransom at that level. But who knows? He could be completely stupid.
Yeah. Let me just quickly. I'm just gonna do this quickly. 1 second.
Like, do we know how much money that family has?
Well, that's just
How
it.
successful they are?
Does anyone know the address of that family? I know. Sena. I could probably look that up actually. But anyways, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna show JLR for a second, just to give you guys kind of an idea of a little bit what's been going on at this place. So let me go see if I can find their address and then just look at their home and see what it looks like.
All three rushed to a hospital in Albany last night after she was found. The child was described by police as unharmed. This is the scene outside the park right now. Park is closed, folks. Be right back. I'm going to go get my battery charger.
Do you know what the mom and dad's name was? I want to think it was Linda for the mother. Does any of you guys remember what their, for some reason
I think the father's name was David.
David. Yeah, okay. I had Linda and David in my head for some reason. Okay. So let me just go ahead. Let me just go take a look. So let's see, David, Sena, and did they live in Saratoga? I never bothered to look up their address for them at all because it was really about funnier. So, no.
Her mother is Trisha.
Oh, is your mother's Trisha? Okay.
Let me know what you guys think, though. What do you think law enforcement is doing still? Now that she has been found safe, what do you think law enforcement is doing in the park?
Turn that down for a second. Okay, so
what do you think's going on?
And
I heard him just say the park will be closed for another day.
Yeah, that park's been shut down. I don't know. I keep getting it. Whoever said Trisha, did they live in Saratoga or Milton? Yeah. Yeah, the mailman. Tell me about their address from the child. No, you're right. There's an option right there, Cecil. You're right. She could have. Never thought about that for a second, actually. Yeah, could have adopted. There you go, Miss Dog Lover. Could have adopted her. Yeah, got her to say her address.
A lot of guys were talking about the shoe. I don't think the shoe would have any relation whatsoever. But what do you think is going on?
Okay, so no, that's this. Whatever. The family lives in Greenfield. Okay. Family lives in Greenfield. Okay.
For them to continue to search the park.
Honestly, though, that
Mhm.
comment about the Cecil Hotel has freaked me out.
Yeah.
If you
The one
haven't
about
seen that, watch Netflix, Cecil Hotel.
Hmm. I don't understand why it's not coming up. Oh, I think this is it. Yeah, Porter's Corner. Okay. So they lived at, one sec, let's take a look. Okay, let me just take that off. Sorry, GLR. Thank you. Thank you to GLR. I really do love the boots on the ground that he does provide. I don't care what anybody says. I love boots on ground. So let me just find right here. Okay. So this is where they live. I should have remembered Porter's Corner, New York, because that's where the house is. 2 minutes away. Let me go back over here. So this is their home here. Nice home. You know, I mean, nice home. I don't know how much homes cost in this area, but it looks like a nice home. But so do all the other ones around it. But let's see. Let me see where we're at here. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say richity rich, but they could be. Now, I'm not on Google Maps. So let me just see for a second. I'm just gonna go to Google Maps for a second myself. So I'm not sure if anyone's making comments right now. If so, Miss Dog Lover, you know your role.
Oh, right. Who wants me to chat? What do you want to talk about, guys?
1 Chapman, what is it? 1 Chapman Street.
I'd like to talk about the Cecil Hotel.
Porter Corners. Yeah, that's 2 13 circle. I will let you down.
Cecil Hotel Super Chat. $3. Thank you.
Thank you, Cecil. No. What's the other address? It's 13 O's. Hold on. One sec. Porter. Let's see. Okay. I'll come back so I can see you guys, and then I'll start. Thank you so much, Cecil. Appreciated. Freaking me out. I'm not sure where Adam is. I'm not sure what he's doing today, to be honest with you. He said he was doing a few things, but I think he had an appointment somewhere. He had to do something. Brain dead here myself. Oh, Miss Dog Lover. She must have popped out or something. All right. I'm just going to bring up the map here, okay, guys? So if this is number 1 Chapman Street, and this is supposedly 13 Circle Drive. Okay. Yeah. Right. This is the home. Okay. So that's kind of how close they were to each other. So kind of like what you said, Cecil. I mean, there's a chance in heck that they met during like a church or something like that. Who knows? But right. I mean, that's very close, isn't it? It's like far, but yet close. But simply could have asked her, where do you live? You know, it's not like saying 1 Chapman is a hard word. Oh, Miss Dog Lover. Thank you, Cecil. So, yeah. What do you like? So, I don't know. I just want you guys, like, tell me your thoughts. You know, me and Miss Dog Lover said our thoughts. So, if this guy goes to the campground and abducts her, which is about, like, I think 20 or so minutes away, this campground, like, you know, okay. Are you heading off now, Miss Doglover? Like, meaning you're probably getting tired, right? Got to work and everything on there. So we'll wait for that to come. Starting to get hungry, actually, is what I'm starting to do. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Dog Lover. And thank you for your super chats as well earlier. And this one. Hi, Skittles.
Miss Dog Lover Super Chat. £1.99. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you for having me on. Heart.
Yeah. There we go. Love you. Yeah. Oh, I put myself down in the corner, eh? Well, I guess that gives you guys a better, easier way to look. But yeah, hey, Skittles. Skittles, we just kind of went over a little Delphi at the start. Then we went into Charlotte here. And then we went into personal stuff and off topic totally for about probably an hour. And then we're back on to Charlotte again. And so, right, Charmaine, it's got to be something like he was stalking the family. The house is beautiful. Oh, I guess I should have gone down. What was I thinking, Charmaine? I should have gone down to the road view. Let's be this way. Hold on. Which is the house? Is this the house? Yeah, I think this is the house. Hold on. Let me just check. Looks. I think it's this one. Somebody's outside. It's showing that blue line because that's the one it's showing to get from Circle Drive. From what was that? I heard it popping on there. Skittles, new member. Welcome, Skittles, to becoming a member. Now you can play with all the little emoticons. Well, the fingerprints, right. The fingerprints led to him. Correct. Yeah, I know a lot of people's memberships run out and stuff like that. And then they're just. I do. Well, I remember the name Skittles. I don't remember. That's my brother-in-law talking out loud. I can hear him through the door. I remember the name Skittles for sure, but I feel like you've changed it. Like, I don't remember Crime Time. So I feel like it's the Skittles from what was in here a long time ago. But the name's changed. Have you changed your name? Because I feel like you did. Asking for a friend. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I remember the name Skittles as soon as I seen Skittles. I remembered that from when, but I don't remember. I don't know why, but I don't remember seeing you in a while. Oh, yeah. Charmaine. No. Charmaine, you know what you have to do to afford that. We already talked about the camel and the rupees, and the bonus freaking 4-gallon jug of water. Yeah. But that is him you're hearing. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I thought. I've missed being here. Where were you, Skittles, if you don't mind? Like, are you just been around, but, just watching other kind of different, Delphi or different cases or whatever? Or you just not putting as much time into the true crime? I'm not sure what's been going on with you. Anyway, so I can't say that that's the sexiest house I've ever seen for sure. So I would not call them rich and loaded. If this is the house right here, which it seems to be. I mean, to me, that's just almost like a rundown looking house with a really bad extension to it right here. Yeah. Now let's just go down the road and look at this house. Let's see what we got here. Oh no, that's a little shithole right there. That one. Wait, is that a church? That looks like a church. Oh, Spirit of Life. Oh, there's no big cross on top. Probably did at some point. I don't know. Okay, so maybe they met here at some Spirit of Life gathering. You never know, right? Who knows? Hopefully those answers come to us. But yeah, so I would call this spacious, lovely area. But I wouldn't definitely say that these people had money. Trust me, if they had money, they would be living in a better home than that. I don't want to put down their home, but we all know by certain standards that that's just a very, almost like a little bit run down, averagey looking home. Beautiful property though. Yeah, because unless it's a different home than what I'm seeing, but pretty sure that that's it. Pretty sure it's just like, oh wait, hold on. What does the mailbox say? Does the mailbox say anything? Just trying to get a look at that. Yeah, number 1. Yeah, it said number 1. I seen it when I was flipping it. Right? Does that say number 1, guys? Does it say 1? Or does that say 4? See if we can get a better look. You have to do this really fast because it's hard to see. That's too close. Let me see. See if I can go this way. What do you guys think? that is that a 4? It almost looks like a 4, doesn't it? Let me think. Can't remember. No. Save your brain cells, Charmaine. Oh, yeah, that's not what I saw on another channel. Well, let me go back out of it for a second. Okay. So let's see if they give numbers over top if we go higher. Sometimes they do. Come on now. I mean, like, let me just go back out for a second, not to this, but let me go back out to my own thing. Okay. So what they have is current is right, David M. Sena and Trisha. And they have it as 1 Chapman, St. Porters, which is right, because that would be a couple minutes away. So, and Google Maps took me there when I put in Chapman's. But yet, I mean, why would they take me here? Mind you, hold on. No, I mean, imagery must be this one. Did I not go there? Let me try this again. If I go here, maybe this is it. Maybe this is number 1. Is that what you saw, anybody? That's kind of a real old style home, isn't it? It's pretty cool. Look at all those windows. It reminds me of almost like the Federation days. Let me come back to you guys. Does that look more like it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, what's your channel, Skittles? Tell people what your channel is. Okay, that's it, Charmaine? Okay, perfect. Okay. Nice yard. Nice home. Doesn't it remind you of like the Federation days? I don't know why, but I keep thinking of like back in those Federation days, how homes looked. You know, look at this yard. Great yard. Right on the corner there. Perfectly great yard for kids, isn't it? These are very old school homes here, for sure. That one is cool. Like, look, like, you don't often see homes like this. Like, with so many windows. Like, how many bedrooms does that thing have, I wonder? Anyways, it's definitely better than those little shit shacks that were down the road. You know, it still needs a paint job, though. You can tell. Needs a good fresh coat of paint on it. They need to bring that house to life. It's missing color. It's kind of cool as white, though, too. Anyways. Yeah, big backyard. It's kind of like my big backyard that's sitting here on this chair right now. Actually, big backyard. But no, I love homes like that where they have a lot of space. I mean, kids can just entertain themselves all day long. Don't really need to go anywhere when they have backyard like that. Play croquet, play everything. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So if that's the home, again, just I don't know. I'd have to look and see if there's any updates. I don't feel like there's any more news that we've gotten. Might be. I don't know. Has anyone seen any new information going on for this case? Because I think that's really just kind of what we want to know is how did this guy know this family, if at all? Or was it simply an abduction? Because it's just that I can understand the abduction more being in the park if it was about an essay. and not so much a kidnapping. Like, I don't know. Right, for a ransom abduction. If not essay or financial. I mean, a ransom note is typically, right? A typical ransom note is because you want something. And usually it's in financial means that you want something. Like that's typically like, you better give me my job back or I'm going to hurt your kid. Doesn't make sense. Here, 1 second. Mm-mm. I was just trying to Google. Hey, Mr. Electric. Yeah, sorry, I did mute myself. Yeah, John Bonet. I know. That's what we were talking about, right? I was just trying to, just quickly. Just trying to look at this for a second. Let me. What? Well, I think we know what a ransom note is. See what Wiki has to say. Yourself. Was trying to see the top reasons, why people leave like a ransom note. I mean, we all know that money is the first thing. Ooh, let's look at this. Let's just see what this says. Mystery Tribune. Top 11 ransom note incidents in true crime history. Okay, let's see. Robert Wiles was employed by a family-owned business, Toledo-based National Flight Services and Aircraft Maintenance Company. Hey. Is this the only way I can frickin' watch your stuff? Get out of my face. Okay. In Lakeland, Florida. Wiles was a pilot, diver, fisherman, and an athlete. Robert Arthur Wiles disappeared from Lakeland Linder Regional Airport in Florida, where he worked. He was last seen at work. Sorry, guys. If I'm yawning. Tired a little bit, I guess. 6:30 p.m. on April 1st, which is Fool's Day, 2008. A few days later, his parents received a ransom note, but no further demands were made. On January 31st, 2012, Toby Holt was found guilty of manslaughter, extortion, and writing a threatening letter in connection with Wiles' disappearance. However, Wiles has not been found. Let's see. So the ransom note said, "We have Robert. If you hope to seeing him alive." Hold on. Shit, when you yawn and then it's contagious? You must follow our instructions without deviation. Do not speak about this to anyone, including family, to tell everyone Robert is ill. Do not contact any authorities or private parties. Obtain an item of luggage. Right? Obtain an item of luggage of the appropriate size and place $750,000 in it. John Bonet much? Like, really? Place the luggage containing the money in plain cardboard box and ship it to your Lakeland facility with your detailed instruction that is highly confidential materials for special project that your son is working on. You should instruct someone you trust to place the box unopened in your son's office. This must be completed by the evening of the 8th. No excuses, no exceptions. Remember, we are watching everything. And if you think you can outsmart us, your cost is your son's life. Shit. We should do a live on ransom notes, on there. I think, hold on, I'm going to stop this for a second and go back over here for a second. I'm going to go back to this home. You guys, the home that we're looking at for anyone coming in, this is the home of the Senas. Senas. Yeah. Crazy, right? So they asked for all that, took the man's life. Definitely a John Bonet thing, right? Freaking give us this money. Make sure you take something big enough to carry that money. Return to your home. Oh, wait, too bad. Your actual daughter's dead inside of your home. Didn't really, yeah. Yeah, absolutely glad she was found. Okay. Let me just look at Twitter for a sec. So the note was dropped in the mailbox at 4:20 a.m. So he thought he would do it in the night, right? I'm just trying to take a quick look here. So 5 hours ago, here, I'll just take you on a ride with me, I suppose, Let's go over to Twitter. So, Saratoga County Sheriff's Office. The Saratoga County Sheriff's Office is assisting the New York Police in an ongoing investigation of Charlotte Sena abduction and subsequent rescue. If there's anyone, of course, who may have video footage during the hours of 6:15 to 7:15 from the roads listed below. Okay, we better share that, Better retweet that. So basically get in contact, and here's where they want. Obviously the footage from. Right, there was no briefing because sadly for Gisla, she was sleeping when they did the press conference because most of us knew that it was supposed to be today. These people are.
No, they're not telling us anything. We just wanted to hear the one thing. We just wanted to thank you guys. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much.
Give her our best, please.
Keep the noise down.
You guys can be as loud as you want.
Okay. So obviously great. Who did you guys all in here? Did you guys all in here listen to the press conference yesterday? Fibro. Right. Yeah. Anyways, there was the press conference last night that ended up being at just actually past 10:30, but on there. Well, I don't know how long this is. Let me just play the 3 minutes that it is. Perhaps I'll do that.
Car pulls up to a mailbox.
Fun.
As I mentioned, when you hit that 48-hour moment, you realize it's going to be tough. And you start thinking the worst. But what happened was extraordinary. The case started to break at 4:20 a.m. this morning when the family's home that was being guarded by state police when the parents were still starting another day at the campsite where they'd last seen their daughter. 4:20 a.m. The car pulls up to a mailbox. Something is left. State police immediately go to the mailbox and identify what is a ransom note that had been left behind for Charlotte. State police worked diligently trying to find a match for a fingerprint. First one tried and wasn't successful. Second one was to identify any other prints in the New York State database that would be a match.
That's so sweet.
The hit came at 2:30 in the afternoon. There had been a DWI in 1999 in the city of Saratoga. A fingerprint was found that matched what was found on the ransom note. So, a little more research work to identify the location and identifying the fact that there was a home they could visit. They found a double wide house with a woman, the suspect's mother. The suspect lived in the camper behind. They have what they call a dynamic entry, a tactical maneuver, and within the camper, they located the suspect. After some resistance, the suspect was taken into custody, and immediately the little girl was found in a cabinet, cupboard. She was rescued, and she knew she was being rescued. She knew that she was in safe hands. Her parents were immediately notified. This occurred at 6:30 this evening. The suspect, 47-year-old male named Craig Nelson Ross Jr., is still being questioned. At this moment, charges have not been brought, but they are fully expected. Her daughter was transported to local hospital, as is customary. And that's all the family wishes to reveal at this time. But they are united. She is in good hands. She appeared to be outwardly physically unharmed at the time. But we'll leave the rest of this information about little Charlotte to her family at a time they deem appropriate. Often these stories don't end up like this.
Sorry, guys. I was legitimately I looked at my iPad for a second and it was ringing or something. Anyways, so it was immigration for Brian. And of course, it's on my iPad that I answered it. So I had to get up there for a second and give him my iPad. Such nice members and subscribers and mods here. Thanks, Cecil. I should come on camera because I'm going to be going in a few moments anyway. Possibly might do another live later. We'll see if Adam wants to or not. But yeah, so you know what? If there's any updates, like I said, I'll probably do another live later, perhaps. But I really am hungry. Muted? Who's muted? I'm not muted. Do you hear me, right, guys? Because I don't have anything muted. Do you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. I don't know. Mustang, why did you say I was muted? I was like, what? Probably because there was that lapse there. I think that's why you thought I was muted. Yeah. Okay. I think it's just because of the lapse of me having to try to give my iPad to my husband to give it to his brother, and so this clip had stopped, and then that's why there was a break for a moment. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So I'm going to say this. Like I said, I'll talk to Adam, see if he wants to do a live. We will. See what update is on Rachel Morin, if there's any more updates on Charlotte. And thank you, Miss Dog Lover, for your super chats and stickers. And same with Cecil. Was there somebody else? I think that was it, right? Oh no, and then there was a member. Skittles became a member on there. I think it was. Yeah. And again, thank you, Fibro, for the what do you want to call it? The little gift membership for CJK that Hugh got yesterday. And Mr. Electric, yeah. Arrived a little, I mean, I kind of feel like this was a little bit of a mishmash because it was kind of like talking about Delphi and then Charlotte and then going into like personal stories and talking about Halloween and stuff, and then back over to Charlotte again. And then Miss Dog Lover had joined and stuff like that. But typically I don't care, but it's kind of like two very random topics going from this to all of a sudden that. But you know, this channel, we don't care. Yeah. I know Sharon would like it. I'm in bed with a blood flare. Oh, yeah. You know, sometimes I get little flare-ups too, and I can tell it's like probably arthritis-y because you know what happens when we get older. It ain't no funner, that's for sure. Yeah. But anyways, okay. I'll talk to Adam, see what's going on. I'm just really hungry myself. I literally have not had anything to eat today, to be honest with you. And it's like 4:00 in the afternoon. So I will say, and I will see you guys later. And then thank you guys so much. And just, if you haven't hit a like, make sure you guys hit the like, okay? And I'll talk to you later. Okay, love you. Bye, guys. And I gotta find the brand thing. And where's my outro? There it is. This is Sunny Justice and Aspen Connor from It's a Crime and Shame, wishing you all a good night.